Welcome to the May meeting. We're going to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We have the public comment period, which allows the opportunity for the public to come forward and discuss non-agenda items. No action can be taken by the council, but we have the opportunity to listen. Mr. Davison Bolster.
Good evening, members of the council and the public. As you all know, this is the 250th anniversary of the revolution that founded this country. And Warren is doing a lot of things to celebrate the history of that, including some walking tours, which begin this weekend. And as part of that, we've created a map showing the 50-plus homes that are still standing in Warren that were here during the revolution. And this will be available all over town, so people can take the tour on their own, or they can come and take the guided tours this weekend and another weekend in June with rain dates available. In light of that, I come tonight as a bit of a canary in the coal mine. You know, Warren created its historic district and put a focus on historic preservation 50 years ago with people like Bonnie Warren, Lombard Posey, Ed Thieberge, and many others who told the town, and they were a small minority at the time, that this is important, that we should save these things for future generations so that we can learn from our history and preserve it. And yet here we are 50 years later, facing many buildings in town that are about to be demolished by neglect. And one of them is the building next door to Water Dog, which the community fought long and hard last year to get the community to stand up and say, this is important, we need to save this building. And the town just denied the demolition permit. And now all of a sudden, the building, for some reason, is now a public safety hazard, and people have seen it. It's all roped off and boarded up, and evidently it's about to be torn down. The Bristol County Water Authority has two historic buildings that they've neglected for 50 years, and now all of a sudden is an urgent situation that they want to tear down. And it could be an amazing gateway from the east part of town if they were brought back to life and put into commercial use of some sort. It's on the river. It could be a multitude of choices of ideas. The building at the bridge, the National Grid building, is crumbling as we speak. And I know we own it outright, but I think we need to do something to at least keep the weather out while it's in litigation, and take care of it to keep the weather out so that it doesn't deteriorate any further. The Industrial Trust Bank on Main Street, the roof has been leaking for at least 10 years. Now the inside is filled with black mold, and at the rate it's going, that could deteriorate in an accelerated fashion. So I come here to just raise the alarm. This isn't about anybody personally. There's property owners, there's town officials that are involved in all of these things. And I just want to raise the alarm that if we do nothing, all these buildings will come down. And future generations will look at us and say, why did they let these buildings come down? And at this point, the answer is because we did nothing. And a lot of times it doesn't take money. When we saved the waterfront 25 years ago from condominiums, we had no money to work with in the beginning. But because we stepped forward and said, this is important, we ended up raising like $10 million to pull off that project. So anyway,
keep it within 3 minutes.
That's the alarm, and I hope we do something to save these buildings. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next, we have Ned McGreevy. Good evening, Mr. McGreevy.
Good evening. Thanks, Joe. Yeah, I stood before you guys maybe 15, 16 months ago regarding the illegal outhauls down at Clark Road.
Mhm.
And at the time, in a nutshell, basically is that if we found something that was untoward, we would fix it, we would correct it. And we certainly found that these are in their third decade, I believe, of blocking the public's access to the Kickamute River. Although the shoreward pieces of these outhauls were, the Harbor Commission took care and got rid of those, which I would argue was the only thing connecting anybody to it. But in any case, the ones the most egregious that are out further are still there, and I'm just wondering. It's just inertia. I played hide and seek with the council and the CRMC, DEM.
I can give you a quick answer.
Okay.
We're looking at the funds. We don't have it right now that we wanted to put towards that. And we're hoping that maybe the possibility of a better way to come around to get them down. That's the nutshell.
Oh,
Bringing a
would
barge
suggest
in
you-
there or a crane or cutting them down
Right.
doesn't seem to be a safe method that we are going to get into. If somebody private wanted to do it, that's a different story. Because probably if I were down there, I would have done something like that.
Mhm.
But in regards to okaying a town employee to go there and cut it with a chainsaw,
Deadheads.
right,
yeah.
it's not a
I
possibility.
understand, but also,
So-
and we're looking at the ties. It's only next week and a couple of days in the middle of June where you could even get near them.
Right.
And then it's the end of September and that's it.
So
for the
we're not
year.
ignoring it.
Yeah.
I'm giving you the straight skinny right now that
Well, I
you know.
appreciate that, but I would add,
Mhm.
I mean, pushing 20 plus years that they've been sitting there, I think is insult enough that maybe we could find a way of.
Well, we're hoping that maybe if we see a dock company that's in the area, that possibly we could then maybe get a better price on yanking them. That's really what we've kind of thought about. But right now, we have potholes to fill, and the highest priority isn't to get rid of 4 telephone poles in the water.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
But our harbor master is aware of it, and we're going to be taking a look at whatever dock company may go up to Kiki and be in the area, and possibly be
You're
able
doing a
to.
great job too, by the way, starting with Ed Cabral and now Joe.
So that's
They've
that's
stepped
our
up and-
that's our public secret plan. That's what we're trying to do is maybe piggyback on somebody that's in that area with a crane.
Okay,
Thanks,
thanks.
Kristen Reed, Miss Reed.
Hi, everybody. Kristen Reed, Cherry Street, and the director of the Warren Health Equity Zone. So I wanted to share about 2 opportunities that are coming up. On May 16th, I'm going to leave some of these at the side table. On May 16th in the morning, we're going to be doing a Burrs Hill sort of volunteer day. So in collaboration with the Tree Commission, Green Infrastructure Center, and the Warren Hes, there were 40 trees and DPW. There were 40 trees planted in the fall for the Arboretum that's there. We've had a good snowy winter, but we now need to turn to volunteers that are watering these trees in the spring, summer, and fall. And to give them their best start, the plan is to install tree donuts or tree diapers and some mulch. And we're going to need all hands on deck. So we invite everybody to come on down, bring gloves and a rake and some water because we really need your help. So that's the first thing. The second thing is to invite folks to a Warren Walk on May 21st. There's going to be a habitat restoration walk. This is a project with the Warren Conservation Commission, on which I am a member, Save the Bay, Bristol County Water Authority, and Rhode Island Sea Grant. And join Wenley Ferguson of Save the Bay, Steve Kutu of the Bristol County Water Authority on a tour of the habitat restored at the Warren Reservoir, where the dam was removed. Bring your binoculars for bird watching and to see the healthy indicators of this habitat that is coming back. So you're all invited. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Am I wrong? Isn't there something coming up on the 16th?
That was the first thing I talked about.
Oh,
It's okay.
I was reading something else.
No, it's
I
not.
wanted to make sure.
It's not.
Thank you. Okay, I'm in the room. Next, we have, yes,
I didn't sign up, and I neglected to put this on the agenda, but I'd like to point out that Brian Sullivan, Town Manager, point out that this week is National Police Week. I know that our police department does a wonderful job here. They don't really seek out recognition, but during this week, I think it's important that we do recognize them for everything that they do day and night for the residents here in Warren. And members of our honor guard are actually participating in National Police Week in Washington, D.C. at the Police Memorial this week. So I just wanted to point that out to the council.
Thank you very much, and we're proud of them. Next, we have the BAPS Charities, which is a walk run, the Spirit of Service. Dara Patel. Hello. Did I say that right? Oh, how do you say it?
Dira.
Dira.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank
That's
you
okay.
for that correction.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dira Patel, and I am here to speak to you all today on behalf of BAPS Charities, a charity for which I have been volunteering for almost my entire life to personally extend an invitation for our annual upcoming walkathon at Holt State Park on May 31st. We will be raising funds to support the Rhode Island Food Bank, the Sharon Sustainable Coalition, and BAPS Charities' ongoing initiatives. For those of you who may not be familiar with our organization, BAPS Charities is a nonprofit global organization founded in the year 2000, driven by volunteers spanning across 9 countries and 5 continents, with our motto being "in the spirit of selfless service." As a volunteer-based organization, we are dedicated to benefiting diverse communities through selfless service and have pioneered efforts in multifaceted approaches such as educational services, environmental protection and preservation, health and awareness, and humanitarian relief. For example, some of the work we've done on an international and national scale have included providing relief services in Ukraine, where we helped over 1,000 refugees affected by the conflict, along with organizing over 1,000 walkathons in the past 20 years. The funds from these walkathons have supported local hospitals, children's organizations, and major national beneficiaries such as the Susan G. Komen Foundation and the Nature Conservancy. We've also distributed meals, provided accommodations, and delivered medical aid during times of crisis, including PPE during the pandemic, and local efforts such as medical aid during the LA wildfires. In addition, we've held over 500 blood drives across North America, collecting enough blood to help save more than 56,000 lives. On the education front, we've built over 55 schools in disaster-affected regions and awarded over 5,000 scholarships each year to disenfranchised communities. We've also been active in environmental efforts, planting over 1 million trees as part of our commitment to sustainability. From a local standpoint, our chapter in Sharon, Massachusetts has organized a couple of initiatives, which have included a food drive for which the goods were donated to the First Congressional Church, a Sharon food pantry, and a toy drive was done as well for Toys for Tots. We've also done a school supplies drive during the beginning of the school year. And in conjunction with the national efforts, including the walkathons and blood drives, our local chapter has absolutely been a part of this joint effort as well. As I've mentioned previously, I've been a volunteer for BAPS Charities from a very young age. I remember growing up in New Jersey and participating in these walkathons with my family. And when I was in 2nd grade, being a part of this organization inspired me to help serve those that were affected by the earthquake in Gujarat, India, where I assisted my class in raising money through a toy drive to help support the funds that were being donated for that disaster relief effort. And as I've grown older, I've moved across the country away for school. I've lived in California, I've lived in Michigan, I've lived in Massachusetts, and now Rhode Island. And I've been able to find a home in every new place I've been because of this organization and its national efforts that I've been a part of. And as I've mentioned, we've been raising funds to support this year's beneficiaries for our walkathon. And engaging in that selfless service has made me feel very connected to this community that I've been recently a part of. And I see that same level of sentiment and connectedness in our youth volunteers even today. We've spent the last couple of weekends canvassing outside grocery stores such as Shaw's and Clements Marketplace. And surprisingly, this effort was led by a few young boys all around the ages of 9 to 13. And when I asked them what inspired them to give up their free weekend to stand outside in the cold for hours on end, one of them gave me a response and said, "When I thought about how the work that I could do could mean that someone could have an extra warm meal or something to drink, I wanted to do everything I could to help them." And it's that level of emotional maturity and sentiment that truly inspires me to keep serving the community that I'm a part of. So, with that being said, I want to thank you again for giving me a few minutes to take up your time today and letting me speak about our organization and the impact we've made and hope to continue to make in our communities. And we would really love for you to join us in a couple of weeks for our walkathon.
People can
Um,
register online.
Yes, and I also will leave a couple of extra flyers
Great.
in that table over there.
And
But
if you did such a great job, thank you.
oh, thank you.
If we wanted to write you a check and send it, how would we just do this?
Yeah, exactly. That QR code would be sufficient. Yes.
Thank you so much. I really
Is
appreciate it.
What is it? Is it an acronym? And if so, what is it?
It's not necessarily an acronym, but it's more so a derivation of the spiritual organization from which the charity organization was derived, but is not necessarily directly affiliated with, but it is related to that name.
Okay.
But yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it. Thanks.
Next, we have a couple of resolutions, and one is for the town of Warren. It's a resolution on opposition of House Bill 7676 and Senate Bill 2612 relating to state affairs and government open meetings. Now, when this bill first was brought to our attention, we thought it was going to be very onerous on the town and require a lot of responsibility. And I think Ms. Cronin has some words she'd like to, thoughts on this she'd like to share with us, and we'll take it from there.
All right. Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah, myself and Councilman Trombley had discussed this. I think the original understanding of this bill was that it would have a financial impact on the town. As it stands, the town is in compliance with offering the opportunity for people to watch council meetings, planning and zoning, and voluntary historic district committee meetings live stream. So we are in compliance. The language, Councilman Trombley, the lawyer on the board, has some clear language of how we would like to see this resolution amended so that we can in fact support it, because I think it does have value. It is written in the spirit of serving people with disabilities, and whether they be mobility issues, seniors and whatnot, so they can have access to participation or just viewing these public meetings. So with that, I'll hand it over to Councilman Trombley.
Thank you. So just to go back, essentially what this bill does is it expands the scope of how people can view and participate in town boards and commissions, including town council, virtually. And that's generally a good thing, like we have said, but we want to make sure that the changes are, and our belief is that this bill was intended to be permissible. So it was supposed to allow towns to be able to shape how much they wanted to do versus or not, depending on what they can afford and whatnot. However, there's a few sections in here that are requirements rather than permissible. Now, I discussed it with the town manager. Essentially, one of our concerns, or one of my concerns, is that in this bill, it provides that if we're live streaming one of our council meetings or one of our board meetings, and that feed were to die due to technological failure, the meeting would have to cease and the business of the board would have to end. I don't think that's a good idea, because then we're at the mercy of technology. So I would like that to be amended. In addition, Section 8 of this bill, which is, I know that none of us have it in front of us, but I pulled it up. It's on page 6 of the bill, requires that beginning on January 1st, 2028, that we have to allow persons to participate virtually. What that would mean is that if anyone was watching, I hope people are watching this at home, through the link, but if they are watching it, then they would also have the ability to participate and to speak on matters before the council. I know that that's somewhat common in larger cities such as Cranston, Pawtucket, Providence, perhaps, but it's quite an expensive endeavor for us to go about facilitating. And I believe that that should be a permissible rather than a mandatory requirement on towns. So I'd like that amended. And then lastly, there's a separate section in the bill that requires that people who are watching this virtually have access to the materials. And we're each given a very lengthy, very numerous packet of materials, which is uploaded online and shared to members of the public. You can all find that on our website. I want to clarify that the amendments to this don't require that we have to produce a hand copy, because that's going to exacerbate our expenses with our copying and printing budget. So with those three changes made, I think in principle, the rest of the bill is sound. So I would support a resolution that would request amendments rather than opposing the bill outright. And I think that would get us more success than just opposing it. So that would be my suggestion.
Well, as I look at this and think about it, I'm in opposition to this, the way it's written. And I've found it always best to oppose the bill, and the opposite actually of your advice, unfortunately, is to oppose the bill and then ask for the amendments. Is there any other?
Well, I don't think we're legislators that we can go tell them what to do, but
No, we
if I'm
can't.
in agreement with you, I would say that we oppose it. And then Derek, you can give them the reasons why and let them come up with something better. Because in essence, what you just said is we are against this.
In its current format, I'm not in favor.
I'm going to oppose it too. I haven't really seen much come out of there in the past year that I would actually not oppose. So I'm against this anyway, so.
I just ask one last thing, that when we
Go right ahead.
when we have these, and I mentioned it to Brian, whenever we have these resolutions reflecting legislations, that we get either a copy of the legislation or a link so we can look at the legislation. So, you know. So
Mr. DeSisto, I don't disagree with the input of Mr. Tromley as well as Ms. Cronin in regards to the amendments. Is it possible for us to oppose this and also send our amendments that we would like to see at tonight's meeting?
You know, I think the better method would be to say, you could support it if these amendments were made.
Could we put that in our resolution? We don't support this bill because A, B, C?
Or would we say we support with these amendments?
clearly, we don't support this legislation the way it's written.
All right, everybody, one at a time, through me, let's try to get an answer.
With these amendments. We can support it with these amendments. I think that's the way to go, if that's what the council wants to do.
But wouldn't,
I don't
but,
think they'll read
but
that
wouldn't that,
Letter.
wouldn't that show that we're in support of it? Because they're not asking us for amendments. That's why I feel like a flat opposition and then sending up an additional resolution with those amendments
So let me make a.
or with that specific language.
Why don't you do it in two parts?
Okay,
Paragraph 1, oppose the bill as written. Paragraph 2, if the following amendments are made, then we can support the bill.
okay, we can do it in two.
I'll make a motion to that effect.
Is there a second
Second,
discussion?
so it would, how would that be communicated to the General Assembly? The town of Warren has opposed this legislation or this bill, but would support it if these amendments were made.
In paragraph 1, oppose the bill as currently written.
Mm-hmm.
Paragraph 2, if the following amendments are made, then the council could support the bill.
All right, and Ms. Baroni, you have our amendments clearly recorded?
That
Derek gave?
But then I'll work with Tony to redo this resolution.
Yes.
Correct, yes.
This will have to go up, hopefully by tomorrow I can get it.
Yes.
There. I believe we're meeting today or meeting Thursday on this.
Do you have any input as the clerk who would be overseeing this? Would you like to share with the council on the discussion of this matter?
What I think about it?
You're the town
I
clerk.
don't think video broadcasting is a good idea. We have a problem already with our cameras and stuff. It will cost us a lot of money if we video cast it, but he said no, that we wouldn't do that, right?
Well, we
Those would be
already
the
did
amendments.
live stream all of,
We have live stream, we've already put out all the packet is out there, anybody can see everything in your packets. So we do that way, but as far as somebody communicating with the council, that's gonna be tough.
Correct.
I would have to hire somebody else, we'd have to buy another TV, there's a lot of things that it would.
right, which is why we are amending it to say
We hope-
that we are permitted to do it, but we are not obligated to.
And that's kind of what most towns and cities will might do the same thing and piggyback on us.
Yeah.
Mr. Rego.
I don't know, if somebody could tell me a benefit to this, I don't know why we want to create more of a liability for ourselves. And I don't know why our legislators keep doing this to us.
Well, the benefit is supposedly for the housebound who are unable to come, who are being barred from public participation.
That doesn't mean we couldn't try to appease them if someone called us or
Correct.
needed, but it doesn't have to be a law.
Correct, but that you asked for the
Right.
the reason, the logic behind this, that's the reason. Mr. Trombley, you had something to add?
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify because I think we're all on the same page that we want the public to be able to record and view these things from online. We just don't want it to expose us to any additional costs. I think that the amendments that I've discussed, and hopefully Ms. Speroni can work with Tony on the amendments to make sure that everything is enumerated, but in principle, it's codifying what we already do in terms of we stream the meetings, we have our documents available online. So if you are a person who is homebound or if you work during meetings, then, I mean, I'm just trying to clarify, you guys do support that. It's just that
Well,
the cost.
We already.
John, wait a minute.
Okay, fair enough.
If you want to speak, I'll
No,
let
it's
you.
just, I mean, we're solving a problem that doesn't exist.
Well, I look at it differently. I believe the problem exists. I also believe that it's difficult enough for me to keep our board speaking on one issue at one time. It's difficult to deal with the public. It's going to be difficult for the president to have a computer here that they would have to look and follow or monitor on who is on that chat line. And I find it to just be a difficulty. If it were one witness, one situation, I think that could be dealt with. I think, unfortunately, looking at the amount of comments that are made online now, there's nothing stopping people from making comments. And I think it can just be unruly. I think it'll open up a Pandora's box with a good intention, but I think that it's going to be very, very difficult to govern. And that's why I'm against it.
And that's one reason why I would like to just pass the resolution that we're against this bill, because even with the amendments, it's still doing something that we really don't need done.
Well,
And it would be much easier down the road to get the rest of this in there where now it does complicate the heck out of it and cost us money. I don't think we need this law. That's why I would just like to vote to not support it.
well, right now the motion is, and of course, everyone is going to vote right now. The motion on the floor is to the two amendments.
Yeah, to oppose with section 1,
Oppose.
oppose section 2 amendments.
Oppose this language with amendments. And those specific amendments were they regarding cost at all?
So basically the meetings can continue even if the live stream gets shut down.
Correct.
The section about, just as you're talking about public participation by video or online, that would be permissible, not mandatory. And then the third would be that all the documentation posted online satisfies our requirements to provide that documentation to the public.
How would we control, if you say permissible but not mandatory, how would I be able to control who can participate in this forum and who can't?
Just to clarify, it would basically, the current language in here says that by January 1st, 2028, every city and town shall allow participation, which is public comment basically, through Zoom, through the online medium. That's what would add the computer, the extra cost, etc. By making that section a may instead of a shall, it means that we, the council, can decide whether or not we want to have that at our meetings or not. I believe that our council would not, and I would also not be in support of that. And that would mean that we could pass the entirety of it. And for those communities that do want to have public participation online, they can do that. And for us, we can keep going the same way that we've been going. So it would mean that we don't have to do that section if it passes.
Ms. Cronin.
And by doing it this way, by opposing it as written and supporting it with these amendments, we are sending the clear message that to the rest of the cities and towns that here is another option. If we say just we flat out oppose it and it passes anyways because nobody makes the suggestion that it could be amended, we might be obligated, we won't be here, some of us, we would be obligated to comply by 2028. And I don't think anybody wants that. I think we want to retain our ability to make these decisions for ourselves. So putting out these amendments clearly states, we're okay with the rest of it. We're doing it anyways. We will, and we would like to have the ability to decide whether we want to entertain public comment virtually during meetings.
Mr. DeSisto, can't we be against this and then we can also send up these amendments?
You can do whatever you want.
That's what we're suggesting. We
Well,
oppose it as written.
I know, but I feel like it's a little different. I'm against it.
So if you're against it and it passes in the House and in the Senate,
Mhm.
we eat it anyway. We have to do it. But if we say, here are some options to make it better, to work for us, why wouldn't we want to get those out there?
What I'm trying to get at is I'd rather vote against it and then separately send amendments.
That's what we're suggesting.
No, Mr. DeSisto's
not what the
making it
motion-
No, but can you
combined.
do it? You can do that too. You can separate it. You can do it together, or you can separate it.
I can't imagine
Whatever
having
you
a
want to
screen
do.
right here and right now listening to anybody and everybody who's watching and giving them the opportunity to speak. I wouldn't be able to do it,
You may,
nor would I want to.
you won't have to.
I understand that. So the motion that's on the floor will move the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Nay.
I make a motion that we,
Well, let me read the resolution.
okay.
So here's a resolution in opposition. Whereas House 7676 was introduced at the General Assembly on February 11th, 2026 by Representative Speakman and others, and Senate 2612 was introduced in the General Assembly on February 13th by Senators Zuria and McKinney. And whereas these acts would amend the Open Meetings Act by placing additional burdensome requirements in cities and towns, and whereas should these acts be adopted, they will impose significant unfunded costs and operational burdens on city and town clerks' offices, as well as other public bodies. And whereas these acts also place serious logistical challenges on specialty boards and commissions, such as historical commissions, conservation commissions, environmental committees, boards of canvases that oftentimes do not have the administrative support of other municipal boards and commissions. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the town council of the town of Warren, as follows. Section 1, that the town council of the town of Warren officially expresses its opposition to House 7676 and Senate Bill 2612 and respectfully requests that the Honorable General Assembly not enact 7676 and S 2612. Section 2, that this resolution shall become effective immediately upon passage by the Warren Town Council. To me, the language up front states it clear, and it doesn't even mention how the president or chairman of the board is supposed to interact with a computer screen and people who want to be on. I mean, there could be 50 people online that would want to participate. So is there a motion to adopt this?
I'll make a motion, but I want to ask
I'll
a question
second it.
first. Does the state let people participate remotely when they're in session?
No.
Oh, so it's a do as I say, not as I do thing? I'll make a motion that we pass this resolution rejecting or opposing the state's two bills.
Discussion.
There is a 12-page piece of legislation that I know I reviewed earlier today and think that I understand what the spirit of it is. I know that Mr. Trombley has. I don't believe any of you guys have, and are just reacting to this resolution that was written out of fear and not full understanding of the actual bill.
No, I'm reacting to the additional task
Burden.
that would be applied to me if there was a computer monitor here. And also, they don't even have to be residents of Warren. Anyone in the public can come here and have the opportunity to participate in our meetings. I don't understand how this would even be achievable.
When we were when we were all
In Zoom,
on
COVID.
Zoom during COVID,
I don't believe the public participated.
Right.
Oh, no, that's not true, because I did
Yeah.
participate.
No,
No, against a couple of things, you
You-
guys voted against me, so I ran for town council.
Yeah, but I didn't call on you in the meeting.
because
No,
you
I
were
spoke.
at meetings, I was.
What? No, wait a
It was
minute.
interactive.
No, I spoke
Yes.
at those meetings. I was
Well,
on the
good for you.
Zoom calls.
Okay, so discussion.
Actually, look, Terry, if it's such a good idea, why doesn't the state do it?
Yeah.
All right. Stop.
It's a completely different.
So we can act on this, and then we can also act on sending up a letter of recommendations.
Well, we have a motion and a second on the floor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Now,
Nay.
Nay.
correct. Do you want to take action, because we can, and send amendments on this legislation?
Yes. I'll make a
Please.
motion to that effect.
I'll second it.
And the amendments were clearly stated. Ms. Baroni, you have them? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'm close.
Okay, so,
No.
Division?
excuse me,
I don't know, did that pass or not? I
Yeah.
was-
3-2.
Okay.
Yeah, I have no problem with the amendments. If I don't believe they're gonna go anywhere. But I also believe that participation is process, and we sent up amendments. Next, we have the Town of Warren resolution in support of House Bill H 8151. This is the Blue Wave Bond for the Coastal Preparedness Act. And this is from Planner Castro. And would you like me to read this now? Would, sure. Do you think it would benefit your presentation? Yes? Yes. Okay, this is a resolution in support of the House Bill 8151, the Blue Wave Bond for Coastal Preparedness Act. And be it resolved by the Town Council of the Town of Warren as follows: whereas located along the East Bay coast of the Rhode Island, proudly known as the Ocean State, relies heavily on the health, accessibility, and resilience of its shorelines, beaches, and marine ecosystems. And whereas coastal tourism serves as a cornerstone of the local and state economy, drawing visitors from across the region and nation to Warren's thriving Main Street, historic landmarks, and natural resources, thereby supporting local businesses, employment, and municipal revenue. And whereas the state of Rhode Island's identity, culture, and economic vitality are intrinsically tied to its more than 400 miles of coastline, making coastal preservation and protection a matter of statewide importance. And whereas the town of Warren has experienced and continues to face increasing environmental challenges, including sea level rise, coastal erosion, flooding, and more frequent and severe storm events, all of which threaten public safety, infrastructure, natural habitats, and the economic stability of coastal communities. And whereas storm surge and extreme weather events have demonstrated the urgent need for proactive investment in resilient infrastructure, shoreline protection, and climate adaptation strategies to safeguard both residents and visitors. And whereas House Bill RI 8151, known as the Blue Wave Bond for Coastal Preparedness Act, proposes a 2026 bond referendum authorizing the state of Rhode Island to issue up to $100 million in general obligation bonds, subject to voter approval, to fund critical coastal preparedness and resilience projects. And whereas the Blue Wave Bond for Coastal Preparedness Act represents a forward-looking investment in the protection of Rhode Island's coastal communities through initiatives such as shoreline stabilization, flood mitigation, habitat restoration, and infrastructure improvements designed to withstand the impacts of climate change. And whereas such investments will help ensure the long-term sustainability of Warren's historic district, Main Street, working waterfronts, tourism economy, and quality of life for residents and future generations. Now therefore be it resolved that the Warren Town Council hereby expresses its strong support for House Bill 8151, the Blue Wave Bond for Coastal Preparedness Act, and encourages its passage by the Rhode Island General Assembly and approval by the voters of Rhode Island. Be it further resolved that the Warren Town Council urges state leaders, residents, and stakeholders to recognize the urgency of coastal resilience investments and to take collective action to protect Rhode Island's shoreline and economic future. And be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be transmitted to members of the Rhode Island General Assembly, the Governor of Rhode Island, and relevant state agencies as an expression of the town's official position. Step 2, that this resolution shall become effective immediately upon passage. Would you like to give, or would the council like to support this action with the information heard, as well as let Ms. Pollicastro continue her presentation?
I just would like to make one technical amendment.
Please.
Mr. Solicitor, I forgot to include the Senate companion bill as part of the language.
Amended, yeah.
So I'd like to just include Senate Bill 3181.
And include Senate Bill 3181.
I'll make that motion to amend the resolution.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll make a motion that we approve the resolution as amended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And you have anything you want to add to this?
So I just wanted to let you guys know, so we are considered a blue wave economy community. And similar to last month when we introduced a resolution to make us a safer streets for all community, next month I will be introducing a resolution to make us a blue wave economy community. It is part of our comprehensive plan. The pros of this general obligation bond, should it come on the floor for a vote, and then the voters make their decision for the state in November. The pros for the town of Warren far outweigh any cons. So if it makes it to the ballot in November, some of the things that are going to be beneficial to the town of Warren is that the funding is going towards climate resiliency infrastructure, which is some of the most expensive infrastructure projects that any municipality or state can take on. Maybe not as quite as expensive as bridges, but pretty close. It's going to provide economic and workforce development. It's going to give targeted investment. So when you think climate infrastructure, yes, you're going to think about restoration of beaches or restoration of retention ponds, but it's also can be used for restoration of waterfront and harbors and things of that nature. Facilities. And most importantly, is that it can be used as leverage funding for federal match on grants.
Docks and wharfs.
Correct. And we're not talking about projects that are normally hundreds of thousands of dollars. Even stormwater management parks can run into the millions of dollars. And there's anywhere from a 20% to 45% match, depending on the federal agency you look at for funding. And that's why I am asking you to consider this. And I thank you for doing so.
You said pros and cons.
Well, so the con is like any general obligation bond.
Okay.
It raises the state debt. The other cons that I've looked at, I don't think really pertain to us. They're more disagreements among special interest groups around is this economic development or is it climate resiliency? Does it take away from climate green bond projects versus economic development projects like bike paths or infrastructure? So those are more internal special interest groups. I think, my opinion, and I could be wrong, that the biggest con for the voters is the fact that it raises our state debt.
Okay. Any
Thank
other
you.
questions or comments?
No, we passed it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we already voted on it.
Next, we have the final adoption of the fiscal year budget 26-27. I've already checked with Mr. DeSisto. If anyone wanted to make any changes to the budget, such as putting money towards a different project, since Mr. Hanley last month asked for the possibility of going out for RFQ for the beach, the park.
The Burrs Hill, yeah.
Well, Ms. Paula Castro has a couple of words she can give to that, and why don't you please come right up? And maybe this would
So,
help initiate a change in that
so
budget line.
last month you tasked me with putting out together an RFP. That RFP is almost complete. I needed some assistance from an architect. So one of the architects locally donated her time to help me clean up that language. That RFP will be ready to go out probably within the next week. After speaking to some architectural landscaping firms, landscape architecture firms, you can anticipate engineering design work to cost between $50,000 and $100,000. I think it's going to be more on the 50 side, just on the nature of the size of the project. What I am asking at this point is not necessarily for you to include additional funding, additional $22,000. However, what I would ask is that the funding that has been set aside for restoration be held as a Burrs Hill Park contingency, or however you decide to code it, until we can get those RFP back so that I can bring them to council.
Well, the budget item was for either emergency repairs or to make safe. In other words, to put a fence around it.
Correct.
So if it's gonna take a while, then we're probably maybe we'll have to go with the fence around it aspect. Are you saying not to use that money to do what?
I was saying to hold off until you get a sense of what it would cost to go for engineering design, because that money could be better allocated than
Yeah, we can
towards
do
that.
that. We don't have to change anything.
Oh, engineering design. No,
Well,
we're not building a skyscraper
no, but
here.
it needs to go
We
out to a
don't really
landscape
need engineering
architect.
design.
John,
Counselor
A
Ham, you
lands-
know
a
that this needs a landscape
contractor could
architect.
Could present us a plan that would work.
John, what I believe she's not pointing out is that there's the up to $400,000 grants from DEM. We've been very successful with those. I believe that's who she'd be going after the money for, to look at this as a water mitigation grant because of the water runoff in that area.
And we can call it whatever we want. I said engineering design because that's what I'm used to the terminology. Plans from a landscape architect. I need the plans in order to make this fundable. I cannot go to a state agency and say, well, think based on what? What are you doing? I show you a picture and a budget, but I need those plans, design work in order to make the project fundable.
And hopefully
That-
we can
that makes
get,
a little bit
and
more sense
hopefully
now.
we can get snow fence that will satisfy the league,
That was gonna be my second.
surround it.
What concerns me is if we use this money for that, and then we get something back from the league, and the snow fence doesn't work,
Well,
now we gotta rip them out, and you disagree, but as soon as those are gone, they're never going back. They're never going back. That's just the way it works.
I know those structures aren't,
Can I make a
but I
suggestion?
believe something better will go there.
We have $28,000 in the
Correct.
budget. It's a starting point. Do what you need to do and come back to us when you need more.
Okay.
All
The
right?
line item is for repair. We need to broaden the line item.
And that's all I'm asking is for you to broaden the line item.
No, I'm still good with the
I'm
repair.
keeping it at repair.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
keeping
not
it
losing
repair.
that money, and
Yeah.
then lose the bleachers, lose the landscape feature because.
Okay, I'm gonna open the discussion to Mr. Trombley as well as Ms. Cronin, as well as everyone. What we're looking for is the flexibility of the language to give the town the ability to make them safe, potentially not by repair, because 28,000 we know isn't going to do it, but also allow the funds to be there for the task that Ms. Paula Castro has been given by this council.
How about we add the money for the task, and then if we don't use the 28 grand to make safe, we can still have that. Instead of taking the 28 out, I would support putting money in for the engineering on it.
Okay, you have that opportunity to do that.
I'm puzzled. Ms.
Mr.
Paul
Ham has
Castro
a-
is asking for the latitude to just expand the language of how that line item is going to read, so we can potentially find out what it would really cost to
Correct.
either last month, the presentation, you all loved that tiered effect that had the concrete front to it that really resembled very much the spirit of what is there now. I think we all agree that what is there now is irreparable to for an amount that we can afford. So if we can do something, if we can get something designed and funded that will mimic it and be good for the community for years to come, so we leave it better than we found it, I don't know what the problem is there. We are not going to, 28,000 is not going to save those or repair those. We all agreed that we liked what she presented as a potential alternative to what we were all thinking.
Which would be the target for the grant.
Which
Mr.
would be
Rego.
the fundable.
I'm going to give you an A for beating a dead horse because we've beaten this thing to death.
Not
We
really.
plugged in $28,000. We voted. That 28,000 is a starting point to fix it. Now, those pictures she sent, I don't know about you, but I could do it on AI, take a picture of me, and it changes me, and I'm still me. Okay, so those were beautiful pictures, but we will never see that over there.
That's not true.
And what John's saying is true. Once those are out, we'll never see them
It'll
again.
just be a dirt hill.
First of all, I'm not actually recommending removal of them at all because I'm not sure what the structural integrity would look like. And I've spoken with Public Works about this, and I've spoken with an architect about this. So I'm not talking about removing that structure till you have a plan. What I'm saying is that I'd like the flexibility in the language of the budget that if we so decide to get, and we get an RFP that comes in for design plans, whatever you want to call it, and I can come back before the council and say, okay, I got this, these are the bids we got in, this is what it would cost us to go for design, that funding is there,
And we'd apply for the grant.
and apply for the
Why
grants.
can't she come back at that time and ask for us to move the line item?
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
Because if it's,
Because you can't do that if we.
Sure you can.
No, you can't.
if it's worded repair, getting engineering for the repair would fall under repair, correct?
It's not the repair. The engineering is for a new project.
You need to amend the language for that particular line item at the very least, and to make sure you have sufficient.
What does it say? What is? the
Mr.
specific
Trombley, do
line-
you have anything to add to this since you were so pivotal in the direction that this project is now going in?
Yes, I do. Thank you,
Please
Mr.
feel
President.
free.
Ms. Polacastro, what is your suggested language for this particular line item?
so I would say repair, replacement, and planning.
Would you be satisfied with repair and planning?
Yes,
I'll make a motion to renumber this or rename this line item repair and planning. I think that satisfies the concerns of my fellow councilmen that this would somehow allow it to be the decision of the council, which represents the will of, I think, a majority of the people in town to try to repair rather than replace, which I think will be cheaper. And I think that, John, do you feel that satisfies?
Yeah, I'm
your
looking to
concerns?
see, was it
Yeah,
originally just the line item was just
I'm good with
repair?
It was 150,000 to repair that.
I'm good with that.
John,
I'll second Derek's
We're
motion.
not relitigating this.
Oh, yeah, we are.
We're not relitigating.
I'll second Derek's motion.
Thank you.
And that was a good motion, Derek. I commend you for that.
So the motion is to repair,
Change
not
the line-
replace.
Change the line
right,
item
repair and planning.
Repair and
Repair
plan.
and planning for what? What are we planning?
for the
The
RFP.
restoration
We
of the
use it for
bleachers.
that.
So the RFP you mean is the replacement?
Yep. So if you want the language that will go out in the RFP,
It's replacement is what you're asking for.
it basically a tiered terrace and stormwater
Right, you
management.
mean removing what's there and putting in a usable tiered water mitigation aspect.
Correct.
Yeah, the planning part is just the money to get the engineering that she may need, if we can use that.
Right,
So adding that would just open it up for that as well as the repair.
but you're talking about the replacement of the structure, correct?
We didn't say anything. We didn't
Not
say
for
anything. about replacement.
$28,000.
But that's what you guys looked at. You looked at the picture and
Correct.
said, we'd like to go out for the planning.
So that's what the 28,000 could be. And actually, I'm looking at that and I would be repairs make safe and planning? Because if the trust comes back and it's bad, I would like to still have that money to be able to be used for, it says repair. Could we use that for make safe? How
Yes,
specific are we here?
Planning and I actually switch it around for planning and repair instead of repair and planning. For planning and repair, if there's an issue out there that needs to be addressed immediately, the line item will cover it. Is there sufficient funds to do this?
I'm just curious, what are we
There may
planning
or may
if
not
we're
be.
looking at repair? Mr. Strongly, it was your motion. What is it that we're planning on if we're looking at repair? The estimates came in at 150,000.
I think we can, I think what we're
Ms.
looking at, she
Paula
needs that
Castro
to go out. and
has
get-
come to us and presented at the previous meeting. Sorry, John, he just asked me a
Yep.
direct question.
Right.
Ms. Paula Castro presented and said, we can make the bleachers look like this.
No,
That's what,
that's not what she presented.
Joe, with that money, she needs that to go get the bond money. So so
I
if we can get,
understand.
if we can get the bond money, not the bond money,
Not
if
the
we can
bond
get the
money,
grant
The
money,
grant money.
then it doesn't matter if it costs 400,000,
But
if
you're
we get
talking about-
400,000 in
So
grant.
you are admitting that the bleachers would be removed.
No,
That's-
It would be a whole big process, taken down as they're being rebuilt, not taken down and then 10 years later, everybody forgets about it.
Correct. So the process of the planning is for the replacement of the bleachers. That's
It's-
what you're asking.
Well,
Joe.
I like
just
the
need
word,
this to be
it's the word
clear.
engineering design. To me, that's cleaner, but I know that you consider it just architectural plans.
Joe,
Yeah,
Joe.
Mr. Rego.
we've had discussion here.
Yes.
And I think we're all in agreement. Derek's recommendation, motion, very good motion. I think it satisfies us. Let's go with that motion, and down the road, when you have more information, we will revisit it.
Yes, my hope is to get the RFP posted by the end of the month, have it closed right before the 4th of July and on the calendar for review at the July meeting.
Okay. There's a motion. Is there a second?
I already seconded it.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Nay. Okay, so now we have to take a motion to adopt the budget.
I'll make a motion. We adopt the financial budget as just amended by the wording on that line item, and we approve the budget as a whole.
Is there a second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next, we have interviews, Affordable Housing Advisory Committee, one position. There's no one has applied. Next, we have the Bristol Warren School District Budget and Declining Enrollment Group, two positions. Mr. Tromley, you've been appointed, and no one has applied for the other position. Next, we have the Economic Development Board, two positions. No one's applied. Juvenile Hearing Board, one position, one alternate position. No one's applied. Planning Board, two alternate positions. No one's applied. 250th Commission, four positions. No one's applied. Voluntary Historic District Committee, one alternate position available, and Mr. Gordon McDonald. Mr. McDonald, could you come on down? Let us know a little bit about yourself and why you would like to serve on this board. Good evening.
Good evening, hello, everybody. Yeah, my name's Gordon McDonald. I live at 73 King Street in Warren, Rhode Island. And I've applied for the board of the Voluntary Historic Commission. And basically, I've applied because I've got property in the historic district. And there were no other applicants, and some people that were on the board asked me if I'd be interested in putting my name in, so I did. Here I am.
Any
Great.
questions of the applicant?
No, make a motion to appoint Gordon McDonald.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good luck.
Thank you, Gordon.
I'm your neighbor, you know.
I know, right? Solon Street there.
Yeah.
Yeah, around the corner. Yeah.
You're on.
That's it.
That's
Very
it.
good.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Next, we have resignations. We have a resignation of the Economic Development Board member, Jennifer Peters, and we'd like to send her
Make a
a
motion, we accept the resignation and send her a letter of appreciation.
thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have acceptance of minutes, April 14, 26, regular scheduled meetings.
I've reviewed them. I see no mistakes. Make a motion to approve.
So is there an amended copy?
Yeah, it was on the.
Yeah, I know. Did you see, was it the amended copy you're approving?
Oh, I I was approving the ones that were
Oh.
I think just one amendment.
Yeah.
digitally.
I'll make a motion to approve the amended copy.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I abstain.
Yes, Mr. Trombley wasn't here. Next, we have the consent agenda, P1. Is there a motion to accept the consent agenda?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And next, we have petitions. We have P2, request for a victualling license from East Bay Pickleball Club. Is the applicant here? Where are you? Hi, come on down. How are you?
Good evening.
Good evening. Tell us what you want to do with this license.
We'd like to sell beer and wine at the East Bay Pickleball Club.
Okay, are there any questions of the applicant?
Is
don't
that
have-
common at these type of establishments that
Wait, this is
there's a
the one.
beverage service available?
It is.
I'm sorry, this is the victualling license.
Yeah.
We'll be getting to yours. We're moving them all together. So this is the one that is about the food, victualling
Oh,
license.
okay.
Sorry, yeah, my mistake.
Okay.
But same question, different title. What do you plan on doing with the victualling license?
Just real small, grab and go food items.
There you go.
No prep food.
Perfect answer. Any questions of the
No,
applicant?
do you want to do them both at once? Or?
Yes, well.
Okay,
we have to do
there's three of them,
separately.
isn't there?
I'll make a motion. We approve the vitrilling license for East Bay Pickleball Club.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and next we have the yearly entertainment license for East Bay Pickleball Club.
What type of entertainment you looking
If we'd like to have food trucks, maybe a band once in a while, nothing, there's a lot of, we have a large parking lot in the back, garage doors that open. We'd like to park food trucks back there and have a food truck night or maybe a band once in a while. Something low entertainment. We're not looking for a
Have you-
concert type thing.
Have you met with the police chief or fire chief to go over the plan?
I've spoken to the fire chief, not specifically about the entertainment license.
So what we can do is make a contingent on his approval, if the council passes this, and you have a new building, I'm sure there's not gonna be a problem. So is there a
Do we want to
motion?
put
Like-
hours limit on this?
The MFBs is different too. MFBs are totally different. MFBs have to be approved by the town first.
Well, right now, we're doing the entertainment license.
Yeah. So this
Oh,
would
yeah,
be
I'm
for-
sorry, you said you want to
Yeah.
have MFEs, that would be a separate application as well.
But we need this one.
This is
For the
entertainment.
You
music,
need this
yeah.
for if you want to have
Oh,
any
understood.
kind of music or any kind of entertainment.
Okay, understood.
I just want to say something because that is all open space. You want to open the garage, just be consider that sometimes open space, the noise carries. So I'm sure you've done a great job. So just keep that in mind.
Yes, sir.
So
I'm just saying, did
Any
we want
restrictions?
to, did we want to put an end time at 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock? What do we want to do?
what time are you looking at? Bend.
Closing. We're not gonna extend past closing hours.
What time you
or
close?
anything.
We close at 10, but I highly doubt music will be on past 7 o'clock.
Okay.
It's probably like
I just want to add, not past, I'm going to give them till 11 o'clock just in case, but.
Well,
I
then
don't-
10 is fine.
Yeah. All right, we'll give them till 10 o'clock. I want to put entertainment must cease by 10 PM.
Any additional questions, Mr. Trolley?
I just wanted to say on the entertainment element of it that there is a funeral home across the street from you, so it might come time where that might be in conflict. I hope that there isn't, but it's always good to check with them and make sure that your party will not impact any of their events. And then the other suggestion I had was with regard to the entertainment license, that if you do end up going beyond that limit, you can always come back to us. It's not a one-time thing. You can always ask for a special dispensation for a particular event. So that's all. Thank you.
I'll make a motion. We approve the entertainment license with
Oh.
our
Police chief?
sorry, chief.
Yes,
Yeah.
contingent on your approval.
Concerns about what, so public witness. This is the first we've heard of that food truck and is in band.
We added contingent on your approval.
Yeah, I was going to make my motion that we approve, but we do not issue until approved by the fire and police chiefs.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And now we'll move up the public hearing. And this is a request for a class BVL beverage license. What would you like to do? What are your plans inside the club?
sell beer and wine to people that are over 21.
And that would be members only or visitors, or what aspect? Is it going to be open to the public?
No, that's members only.
Members only. Are there any other questions?
I apologize, not members only. Anybody who's at the facility, because you don't have to be a member to play pickleball there.
Okay, but they would have to be there to play pickleball.
Correct.
So it's not going to be a bar.
Correct. It's not a bar.
Mr. Trombley, any questions?
No, I was just going to ask because the gentleman on the left had nodded his head in approval when he said no. So I was like, wait a second, that does not add up. So,
Yeah,
so just
it's not a bar. You have to play pickleball in order.
You're gonna be a pickleballer.
Yeah.
Any,
They're gonna be drinking and then playing pickleball?
It's wonderful.
a bit of left.
any additional questions on this side?
It's more like a.
Okay, this is a public hearing. Are there any questions from the public on this matter? Okay, hearing none. Is there a motion?
We close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
First
And
question is, do we have a
Yes.
a license available?
yes,
Okay. I'll make a motion, we approve the BVL license. I'm gonna put the same 10 o'clock time limit on it as well.
makes sense.
Yep, the curfew for the selling of the liquor is 10 PM.
Mr. President,
Mr.
is this
Trombley.
one where we would ask we would put contingent on police and fire review, or do we not need that for this one?
I would put it, I was gonna put it on the same one because they could get one without the other.
Okay, understood.
Yeah, so I'll make a motion, we approve with a 10 PM curfew. We approve it, but not to be issued until signed off by the police and fire chief
In all state approvals.
and all state.
And all
approvals.
state approval, yes, for your,
Second.
okay, questions?
No, I was going to say the last conversation I had with the life safety director, fire chief was like, we're not going to do anything until he walks to the facility one more time.
Correct, that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Contingent
So-
means
Yeah.
their approval, so we're passing it only based on their approval
Once they
and how
approve
you
it,
react with
then,
them.
then you can go see the clerk and she'll actually hand you the license, but you don't have the license until she physically hands it to you.
Understood.
Any other questions? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Good luck.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next, we have a request for a one-day entertainment license from Martha Donovan, 28 Luther Street. Hi, Martha. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. And you are at the German Club and you have a two-person band, guitar and singing outside if it's weather permitting. And this is for a birthday party.
Yes.
Anything you want to add to that?
I was hoping to make an edit to extend it to 10 PM. In case there's, the band wants to stay on an extra.
Outside, I think that would be difficult.
Okay.
Maybe. I mean, I'm not sure about how sound travels down there.
What day of the week is it?
Saturday.
10 PM? I don't think it's a killer on a Saturday night.
The band is hired until 9:30, but sometimes
I'll
they'll
make-
stay on for another
Encore.
few songs.
I'll make a motion, we approve the one-day entertainment license with a curfew of 10 PM.
I mean, you're gonna be on the
The water.
on the water side
Yes.
as well, so, all right.
Well, they've had bands before, they said.
All right.
Yeah.
Remember, too loud could be
Yeah.
too loud if the police come.
Mhm.
You have, deal accordingly.
Yeah.
Second that motion.
Mr. Trombley, you had something?
Oh, I was just seconding it, but it appears Lou has already done so.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Good luck.
Good luck.
I'm just wondering, do I have to come to get the license? Another
Yes,
time?
come
Okay.
to the clerk's office.
Anytime.
You're welcome. Next, we have page 4. Request for a one-day entertainment license from Courtney Havel and Daniel Mizrahi hi. How did I kill that name?
No, you did good.
Wow, thank
did
you.
good. You actually got it on point. Hi, town council members.
Hello.
Yeah, we are requesting a one-day license for our wedding June 27th.
Oh, excellent.
3 to 10. We're getting married at Colt State Park.
Okay, and you're having the reception at 13 Bay Road?
Yes, my parents' house.
And 3 to 10, as you've noted. All of your neighbors, you get along somewhat?
Yes, very much
Good
so.
enough
One
to
of
where-
them's offering parking.
There you
the
go.
other-
I was
Yeah,
just gonna say, invite everybody and
for sure.
if
for
they
sure.
come, you're better off. All right, any questions of the applicant?
No, talk, I would say have the,
Again, the fire chief.
I'll make a motion
Yes,
to approve.
there's gonna be a
contingent-
tent, come by, inspect, do
So
We
whatever.
approve, yeah, make sure that they're not blocking the traffic.
It'll
for
be
the trucks and
contingent on
stuff.
their approval.
If you
Yep.
invite them, you might get a gift. Just a thought.
I'll make a motion we approve, but not issue until fire and police have signed off.
Heard.
Second that.
All in
And
favor?
congratulations.
Thank you, appreciate it, guys.
Take care.
Cheers, have a great night.
Call them and make an appointment. Yes, please. They're not going to call you. Call and make an appointment.
Yes.
Next, we have request for a one-day entertainment license from Brian Raftery. And you're over on Denver Avenue, 31. It's a celebration of life. You have a DJ and you're looking at hours of 1 to 10.
Yes, sir.
Anything you want to add to that?
No, it's been an annual thing since COVID.
Oh, okay. So your neighbors are
Yes.
included and
I
involved.
live on a dead end. I'm at the last house I do. I have two neighbors.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly where you are.
Joey Tavares' little house, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm just gonna motion to approve.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Do we want to put this pending fire and
yeah.
police?
Oh, sorry.
It's an entertainment license, so it would be contingent. Make an
Yep.
appointment with the fire and
Wait.
police.
Actually, I have a quick question.
Yeah, they're gonna come and take a look at the facility.
I have a
I've
question.
been doing it every year. I've never had them come once.
Well,
Usually speak.
Yeah, they usually call and we talk on the phone, but
Yeah, that's
they've
fine.
never come to my house.
And if you do it every year, they're probably familiar with it, so it's just a
Yeah,
phone
it's
call.
been
Yeah,
every year.
yeah.
so what I'm saying is, it's contingent upon them, whether they visit your house or on the phone, however that process goes. They have the ability to tell you what to do, and if they come back to us and say, we're not granting it, that's how this license is being given.
I'm sure you won't have a problem.
It's-
Mr. President,
It's
may I
the
ask-
same as what you've done every year.
Right, I don't see a problem.
It's not a problem. We're saying that we're giving you this license
Right.
with their,
Again, I understand the contingency.
that's all.
Mr. President, may I ask a question,
Mr.
to the
Trump.
solicitor? So this is an event that has taken place multiple years in a row, and if we have an event sort of like this, not your specific event, sir, but just if there is an event where it kind of is an annual thing and we have the police and fire check it out once, do they have to continue checking it out every single year, or is once sufficient?
Technically, yes.
Well, the answer to my
Technically-
question to that is suppose there's another house built across the street or the neighborhood's changed. That's why, I mean, it's a very minor thing. They just, if they're familiar with it, they know there
He's
was no
saying,
house.
yes, it has to be
That's why I
checked
say
every
technically
time.
yes, every
Yeah.
time.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say one inspection
No,
would be good.
no.
Oh,
Technically,
okay.
Yes, every time the permit is applied for, there needs to be police and fire participation.
It's a public safety aspect, that's all.
Yeah.
I'm sure you won't have any issues, sir, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Should be fine.
I don't know that. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Good luck.
Thank
Good
you,
luck.
sir.
You're welcome. Thank you. Next, we have,
My old neighborhood.
number 7. This is for a Class F beverage license from the Kikimuit Village Tenants Association. Elizabeth Fanara is,
I'm
hi,
President of the
How are you?
Tenants Association, and we're having a banquet for the installation of the new officers.
all right.
And I'm very strict with my tips license.
Okay.
Okay.
And are there any other questions of the applicant?
No? Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have request for a Class F beverage license from Mr. Anthony Urban. Mr. Urban here. Did we tell Mr. Urban that, did he know he had to be here?
This is a
This is an
routine
annual
thing. They
event.
do this every year, right?
Yeah.
So can we, well, St. Thomas Church,
This is the new, this is the
Yeah, this
new
is-
for the new
This
year.
is different. This is not the piece.
Yeah.
This is
This
different.
isn't the
This
like,
is not the piece.
No. So when is the June council meeting?
June, I want to say the 11th.
Do we have a phone number for Mr. Urban?
there's one listed on here, yes.
Could you make one more call and we can put, yeah, right now. And we'll put this off and hopefully we'll be able to get in touch with them.
It's just over on that.
So next
That's
we
good.
have
That's a benefit living in a small town.
ordinance 01, chapter 4, building and building regulations, article 10, automatic license plate reader. This is on private property. This is the first reading. It's continued from April 14th. Mr. Tromley, we continued this so you could be a participant.
Thank you.
feel free to take the discussion.
Well, this was what we had discussed at a previous council meeting. Essentially, we have the issue. We had the issue. We had the proposal to place flock cameras in the community by the state police. Majority of the council rejected that, and it was brought to my attention that there was nothing prohibiting any individual private person from putting up a flock camera on private property and directing it towards traffic and essentially functioning in the same vein. So what this ordinance would do is it would simply say if you would like to put in a flock camera on your property, on private property, you would have to come and get permission from the town. So it would not apply to things like Amazon Ring doorbells, but it would apply to the type of automatic license plates readers that are contemplated when we talk about this. When we talked about this issue several meetings ago. Anthony has been, Mr. Sistwell rather, has been working on the language for this, and I'm satisfied with it, that it fulfills the conditions that we had put on it, and I think that we should support it.
Mr. DeSisto, do you believe we have the authority to tell private property owners what they can do with a camera?
Well, there are instances where there are regulations that affect the use of private property. As I said to everyone, this is an emerging field. I did some research on it. There are no precedents. So I can't say either way.
Could we expect a lawsuit?
If we denied one, maybe.
That's difficult to say too. I'm not so sure that a private property owner would want to push an issue of this nature. I'm not sure about that. I can't say. But we're in a situation now, and as a lawyer, I am starting to see this more and more, where there are emerging technologies, and they're moving forward at a very fast clip, and the law hasn't caught up. So on some of these things, I can't tell you what, there's no precedence, and I'm not sure how that would be handled on this. And, you can say it's the use of private property, but really it's directed towards public streets. So is there an expectation that somebody's private property can't be regulated in this fashion? I can't say that, but I do think there's a good argument that ultimately this ordinance would be upheld. But I can't say for sure.
Stanley.
In my business, I have to deal with an expected right of privacy quite often. If you're in the middle of the street, you have no expected right of privacy whatsoever, whether it's special detection, whether it's me just looking at your license plate, whether it's me taking a picture of it, there is no expected right to privacy. So, and this other, I think this ordinance is ridiculous. It's such a knee-jerk reaction. It's ridiculous. Everybody's so afraid. Oh, well, the government's going to have it. The government's going to have it to keep you safe. But yeah, I'm going to vote against this because I just think it's ridiculous.
Anyone else have anything? Mr. Rego?
Yeah, again, my issue is like you go from Bristol, they allow it, then you go to Barrington, we don't allow it, Barrington allows it. At the end of the day, they're going to get your place. Question for you, Tony. The state came and asked us for permission. Did they need to?
Well, I got to tell you something, because it's been debated. Technically, no, because they wanted to put it on a state street. However, they made a policy decision that they wanted to get permission from local communities. Some communities say yes, and some communities say no, and the state police has respected that. But you got to put that ordinance that proposal to the side. To this ordinance, which goes to private property, and it only applies to the town of Warren, which I think is a very different thing. And the question is different. The question isn't whether or not you can have license plate readers. The question is whether or not you can say to a private property owner that you can't have a license plate reader that's going to be directed towards the town of Warren streets. So, to me, that's a different question. And although there's no precedent, I do think that's something that could be regulated by the town through this ordinance.
I'm sorry, can I continue my question?
Yes, you can.
So how do you stop a ring bell that's directed right at a street? I mean, I can picture on the corner of Child and Medicum Avenue, there's a house there that sits on the corner. If he has a ring camera, it's facing the cars. So we would have to tell him to take out.
No, because it's not directly connected to law
It's,
enforcement.
yeah, it's not a professional flock
So,
camera.
yeah, what it is we had to do some research on this. But the product that is regulated that would be regulated by this ordinance, if it's passed, ring cameras are okay.
And
Other cameras are okay. Flock cameras, which are license plate readers. We use the term flock because that's the company, but they're ARLPs. That's the only thing that will be regulated in this ordinance.
I can understand that, but at the same time, the end result will be the same. Doesn't matter if you come from a flock camera or a ring camera, you have the ability to get that information.
Why would you be afraid of your license?
Well, I'm not.
plate being on
so
the camera?
what I would like to just clarify that when I voted against the state police lack of contract, number one, they didn't have a contract for us. They didn't actually, if you remember,
They didn't have they said they had a policy, but they didn't provide.
didn't have,
it to us.
and they didn't have a contract. So there were multiple issues that went into that. I think this is somewhat unenforceable. I also felt in my initial voting on that first one was about privacy. So now we're going to tell homeowners what to do. I understand, Mr. Trombley, you're trying to expand this, but I find it very hard. And I think Mr. DeSisto is being blatantly honest with there's nothing there to say that this has been enforced, right? It basically doesn't exist anywhere else.
This is a cutting edge ordinance. So it's not one that I can say to you that I went to another town and I came up with this. This is going to be the first one. Now, Warren has been on the leading edge before on things. This would be another one. But at the same hand, that means that I can't tell you that, there's cases on this that say yes or no on this. It's a new technology. And it's a new ordinance to regulate a new technology.
Yeah, I find this
Cutting edge.
I find this one hard. So it's the Trombley. Anything you want to add, Mr. Cronin? Anything else?
Yeah, I would just add that this is not to beat a dead horse, but this is a new technology. It's being used in other communities and other jurisdictions in ways that are problematic and concerning to people that are concerned about their movements being tracked by corporations, by the government, and what data is available. And I understand that the law has not caught up to this technology to say whether or not this is permissible or not. Having looked at similar advances in technology, such as cell phones, and how the courts have allowed, or in many cases protected, the rights of people's privacy within their cell phone location tracking information, within their right to not have a tracking device placed on their vehicle by law enforcement. These are privacy implications in public settings or with technology. So I do think that this is sound. I think that this would hold up in court. I understand, though, that Mr. Sisto is accurate in saying this has not been tested anywhere. So I understand that trepidation, but I think it's all in service of protecting the privacy rights and interests of the people of Warren. So I would ask my fellow council people to support that, but vote your conscience.
You just say protect your privacy. If these cameras only take pictures of your license plates is public information. So what is it protecting?
It's protecting your movement, your right to privacy in your movements. When I go to the grocery, it's nobody's business how often I go to the grocery store or how often I stop off at La Piñata to get a bite to eat or a drink or what have you. It's nobody's business. And the fact of the matter is this technology is becoming so advanced that it can track not only license plates, but also the details, bumper stickers. It can track dents and all sorts of things. And we don't even know where this technology is going in a way that's being used and abused in other jurisdictions. And we don't know about it. And that's why I think it's important that the town council not prohibit these cameras entirely, but at least have the folks that want to put them in come to the council and say, here's where we want to put it. We have a privacy interest in doing so. And if the council agrees, then there's no issue. And if the council doesn't agree because it exposes a huge amount of people who travel every day in Warren to constant surveillance, then that's a privacy issue that we need to protect.
Councilman Trombley, when the presentation was here, and the only way that license plate, what was presented to us, is the only way that license plate would get put into that system is if there was already a case number or an investigation number. Our police chief wouldn't even have had access to it. It would have gone to the 2 detectives. So to say that somebody wants to see how many times you're going to the grocery store, unless our detectives are really interested in what you're having for dinner, I don't think your camera is going to go in there, and it would be illegal for them to put your plate in there without the case.
Yeah,
So-
not to play devil's advocate, but in that instance, if it was the state police and it was in conjunction with the Warren PD, that'd be one thing. If it were on private property, I think you'd have less of that law enforcement buffer on this.
But who else is going to be if who else wants a flock camera besides law enforcement?
I think that Mr. Trombley's point you just made in me reading this,
You don't know which law enforcement agency would be doing it, and you really wouldn't have any local control.
me reading this a second time, what he's looking at is it would be a coming in front of the council for permission is all he's looking at, not a
It would
complete
not be a
denial.
total ban on these. It would not prohibit them. It's just saying that if the council ever feels that if it's placed in a location that's inappropriate, that exposes too much of the privacy interests of
Or an
people,
inappropriate use, whatever.
or an inappropriate use, then we could absolutely prohibit that. And I think that's
Excellent.
what we should support.
Okay, let's move the question. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed.
Opposed.
Okay. Now, next we have correspondence.
Can we go back to?
Oh, yeah, Mr. Urban, where are you? There you are.
I am so sorry.
No, I'm glad you answered the phone.
Right, and I got it right here.
Glad you took off your hat.
Right.
Look at
Out
that.
of respect for all of you, and
Thank you.
I greatly apologize.
Of course.
So my name.
Just know a little about what you're doing and.
Sure. So I'm representing today St. Thomas, the Apostle. They've now joined with St. Mary of the Bay. We are talking about their feast that they have every year.
Oh.
So their feast is this year the 20 and the 21st, but they do this thing called a Maduro that I was just recently brought up to speed with.
Mordun.
Okay.
Mordun.
Mordun. Thank you.
Madone.
And you see, I'm still learning the pronunciations. The Madun. So during the Madun this year, which would be the 15th through the 19th, they would like to serve wine and beer, but I limited the beer to the 16th and the 18th because I know we need police officers, and it would just save the church some money. So I'm in front of the council to ask for the licensing that we can do this at the church. And if you have objections or questions, please feel free to ask.
I'm sorry, Joe.
Yeah, please.
Because on your application it says June 14th to the 19th. You don't want that?
No, I'm sorry. It's the 15th through the 19th
Of June.
of June.
But this is something you do every year, right?
This is something that they've added this year,
okay.
the Madun.
So let's get the correct dates. 15th
15th through the 19th.
Okay. Number one. Are there any other questions?
Yeah, he changed it.
Yeah, he's changing it to the 15th.
So, Mr. Urban, we're probably we are going to make a contingent on the police and fire's approval.
Yes.
So you'll meet with them, they'll walk through and tell you what you can and can't do, what you should do, shouldn't do,
Sure.
which is, standard.
Yes.
Any additional questions, Mr. Tromley?
Sorry, just so we have the dates correct. So it's June 15th through the 19th.
Correct.
And then for the times, it says Monday through Thursday, 5 to 9.
Correct.
And then Friday, 6 to 11.
Correct.
Okay, so those are all still correct. And
Correct.
just eliminating the Sunday date of 2 to 10.
The
because-
Sunday and the Saturday that it was supposed to were eliminating.
I'm sorry, mine says 5 to 11. You just said 5 to 9. Is it 5 to 11?
The last day.
Monday through Thursday, 5 to 9, and then Friday, 6 to 11.
Mine says 5 to 11.
Yeah, mine says 5 to 11 too.
No, mine says 5 to 9.
Yes, he's got it.
5 or 10.
I'll
P8, right? P8?
P8.
T8, yeah, I think so. I don't know.
So I'll tell you, it's 5 to 9, Monday through Thursday, 5 to 10 on the Friday the 19th.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And it also says 6-day event, but it's only a 5.
No, we eliminated the day
Yeah, so it's only a
to
5-day event.
All right, so you'll even get some money back, maybe.
Sunday 2 to 10.
correct.
So glad we are that you.
I'll
came.
make a motion. We approve the Class F beverage license with the amended hours as discussed.
Second that motion contingent upon police and fire approval.
Correct.
Thank you, Councilman.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Good
All
luck.
set.
Anthony.
Thank you.
Yeah, just get in touch with the 2 chiefs and you'll
Absolutely.
be all set.
Thank you, Councilman.
Next, we have correspondence. C1 through
19.
19. Is there anything in there anyone wants to pull for discussion? Okay, is there a motion to approve correspondence?
Motion that we accept and file correspondence.
Second.
All in favor?
Hi, can I just make a comment?
Yes, you can.
In when we accept and pass the correspondence, we are just acknowledging that we have seen these and we've read them. It is not saying that we agree, disagree, vote in approval of them. It just says we have these, we read them, we acknowledge them.
Correct.
That was my intention. Yeah, we just accept and file.
But
Yeah.
there was, no, I know you know this, but there was something written recently that inferred that we had approved the entire correspondence, or that we are in
not true.
agreement with it, and there is a little nuance there that we may not
They're
agree.
accepting-
Yeah, we're accepting it, we know it's there.
Receivership and filing.
Yeah.
Next, we have old business, discussion and action regarding all town fees and fines. Mr. Rago.
So everyone should have got a copy of the new fee and fines. So basically what we did was we sent it to all the department heads, asked for recommendations. We got some recommendations from them. And then we went to the budget committee and they were good with these recommendations. The only thing that's different, and we'll talk about it in the last page, and that was with the
We got an email to us, but it's not, you don't have a paper copy of it, I don't believe.
No.
It was emailed. We didn't get a paper
you
copy.
guys don't read your emails?
I did, but I didn't print out a copy.
Do you have any empty copies?
I have a quick question on this, but it's for the solicitor. May I, Mr. President?
Yes, you may.
Are any of these, I don't know if Tony, have you had a chance to look at these?
I have, yes.
Do any of them require General Assembly approval?
No.
Okay.
It's 5 pages.
Okay.
I read it in the email, I just didn't print it out.
Let's see if I have an extra copy. Okay. So. Do you have it there?
No.
No, how about Harry?
I mean, I have this, but there are no amounts attached. If that is,
To make this easier, can we just go back to this and somebody make copies of this? That way they'll have it on print.
Or we can do it for next month.
No, I'd rather do it this month. You could just make some copies. It's not gonna take that long. We can go on
Okay.
to the next.
We'll move on to new business. Discussion and action regarding a request for recognition of Native and Indigenous peoples and the hanging of a portrait of Massasoit of the Pokanokets of Semequin. And Miss Flanagan is here.
I'm just gonna grab a table so I can keep this up on the screen.
Okay.
Apologize.
Good show, good show. Wheel of Fortune, it would work.
No, I think you're good. I think we're rocking and rolling here.
I have it.
Yeah. That's right, let it get the hard copies, that's fine.
See if I need to do something. Give me 1 second, because I think visuals are important in this.
Were you here when they presented?
All right, let me try one more time.
Terms of agreeing the time. I didn't like it. No, no.
Here we go. Okay. So, my proposal has to do with that portrait, behind you there. That was donated to the town of Warren according to information we found in, council minutes, in, the early 2020s.
No.
2005.
2005, right. Sorry, that's, and,
Maybe 2003.
yeah.
Early 2000.
By the Avila family.
Yes.
This is Lord Admiral Warren, who fought a important pre-revolutionary battle in, I believe it was St. Lawrence Seaway. As I understand it, there were citizens from the town of Warren that served on his ship, and one of the reasons why the town of Warren is named after him is because of that. He never came to Rhode Island, much less Warren. I am proposing, I don't know if we can get that little screen thing at the bottom to disappear or not. So I'm proposing that we add to the council chambers a painting of Osamequin. This is the Massasoit of the Pokanoket tribe who supported the colonists in the Massachusetts Bay Colony, signed the first treaty in the United States between Native peoples and colonists, provided support to the colonists during periods when otherwise they would not have survived, and was generally a friend to them during that period.
Yeah.
This painting was done by a Martha's Vineyard artist. It is based, to my understanding, on materials that were found on Burrs Hill of what is believed to have been Osamequin's gravesite. Items found there were materials from a red coat, brass buttons, beaded with an animal pelt. Is it coyote or wolf? Wolf pelt. So what he's wearing is believed to have been what he was buried in. And his features are based on present day Pokanoket peoples. So it's as good a representation as we can of someone who lived 400 years ago. This portrait belongs to the Warren Reservation Society. They purchased it from the artist. It hangs on occasion in the George Hale Library in the front room across from the front desk. It's on loan right now, I think in Bristol, is that right? Or is it here in Warren right now?
We have it right now.
Okay, all right. On occasion, it does hang in the library across the street here. I am proposing that a reproduction of this is a reproduction of this painting be made to hang alongside Lord Admiral Warren. This painting is somewhat smaller, so I would propose it being made somewhat larger so that the size of Osamequin is the same size as Lord Admiral Warren, and that the framing and scale and weight be similar to the Admiral. I'm proposing something like this to be done. I will admit that I have a little bit of a personal interest in this. I found out a couple of years ago that my ninth great ancestors were Mary and William Brewster, who were on the Mayflower, and I would not be here today were it not for the support of the Pokanoket people of the Massachusetts Bay Colony at that time.
So you're gonna recuse yourself? Pretty much. Tony?
No.
I-
So, this is a donation, no cost to the town.
No cost to the town. We will raise money to do the reproduction of the painting. And we want to do reproductions so that there's not a risk to the original gorgeous painting in this public space that isn't always monitored.
For those of you who don't know, there's believe to be a representation, it's wrong, but a representation of Osamequin on the front of Town Hall. And the title Soames, which was the geographical area made up from East Providence to, East Providence,
Between Providence and the Taunton River.
rather large area of,
If Louise could come up and add anything else that I had left out or would give benefit.
Mr. Weed, who's our,
Happy to provide any historical background. on
And
this,
correction
but-
of whatever I said wrong.
Well, no, you got it right, but this is an opportunity for the town to recognize the original name of the town was Solms, okay, before 1747. So we're just capturing the history that this town has always had. And it's acknowledging the importance of a person who fundamentally changed America, okay? If it weren't for Osamequin and his agreement in 1621, that's on the front of Town Hall, we wouldn't be here, okay? So I think it's particularly fitting that we're talking about doing this 350 years after King Philip's War, which essentially ended the domination of people in this territory by Native people who had been here for 10,000 years. So we would provide some information on the wall that would explain what this is, but it would mean that anybody coming to town council would understand what our history truly is.
are there any questions of Ms. Flanagan? Mr. Trombley?
All right, thank you. Well, first, let me just say this is wonderful. I really think this is a wonderful idea to put the history in context. It's really important. When I was a young man growing up, I always thought that the town was named after the famed patriot Dr. Joseph Warren, who died at the Battle of Bunker Hill. To my chagrin, when I became an adult, I learned the truth, the sad truth. But still,
And Admiral Warren fought against us.
He was a loyalist.
He was a dirty loyalist, yes. So it's but he still has the privilege of having the town named after him and having done so much. So we do not want to erase that legacy and that contribution, but it is important, as you note, to include the contributions of the Native peoples. So just to clarify, the Warren Historical Society supports this idea?
Warren Preservation
Or Warren Preservation Society? And the local tribe has no issue with this representation?
No, not at all.
Okay.
They would be honored.
They would be honored? Okay, excellent. Sorry, go ahead. That was my last one.
Mr. Rego?
All I want to say is that we talked about this a while back, and I had some reservations taking down Sir Warren. But when I saw this and I saw the two pictures side by side, I thought that if you can get them of equal side, it would complement one another and it would show the true history of Warren. So I kind of like having both up there like that.
Okay, is there a motion?
I will make a motion. Is there any way to make them the same size? Would that not fit with the wall?
The Osamequin portrait is smaller than it appears up there. This representation I have here has the people themselves the same size. We can have then the frames to be the same size and do matting so that the weight of the two paintings visually are similar. So that there would be matting around the gold part around Osamequin.
I have a new idea for you.
So from a distance, they would be weighted similarly and it would not appear as though one person was much larger.
They complement
Ms.
one another.
Flanagan, you've led me to believe that the funding isn't a problem.
Right.
Why don't you resize that one? It's just a picture on canvas. The same company that did it is probably doing what you're asking to be done now. And that way there, you wouldn't have to try so hard to augment the other one to fit here and there. As an idea, I think if you're looking for them to be the same size, why not? It's another $1,000 or $600.
I will take that as a friendly amendment, and if you want to see the final proposal before we, make the final print, I can come back to the council with what the final proposal is.
Three, you like that idea? Both of them the same exact size.
I
like
like
that.
to hear about,
Right?
I
That
would
would fit
like
the
it, but
space.
before you move forward, I would like to see more of it, because I really hate to see it change, but
Well, the only thing that would change is because of the
be a little
space,
smaller, yeah.
they would be made proportionate.
You'd have left.
So they would, fit
Yeah.
the space.
It may be that this portrait gets framed smaller so that there's less background around it.
Yeah,
Or you could actually frame white
Yeah.
all around it, where you're not touching the portrait.
well, they could just make this one smaller. It's a picture on canvas. It's a computer.
There are options, and I can, it's Riverside Art or
Yeah.
Somerset
Yeah.
who said we could do this for us. I can ask them to join me here sometime and.
Make the two fit the side. I'll make the motion. I make a motion that you make the two pictures to fit the space behind us of equal proportion. Is there a second?
I'll second that, and I'll say I'll leave the artistic
Yeah,
up to the
them.
artists.
I-
But if you can come back and give us sort of an approximation, ultimately, I think it's just a concern. We want to make sure that we're representing each equally,
Yeah, great.
so that we don't inadvertently send a bad message.
So it looks tasteful behind us.
Exactly.
Discussion?
Discussion.
I'm okay with it, and I trust your judgment that you wouldn't, hack the heck out of it, so, yeah, just.
This is me photoshopping something in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Ms. Cronin has a question.
The original portrait of Osamequin, the size of it.
It's about, I do have that.
32 by 40.
Yeah.
something.
So it's significantly smaller than this.
Significantly
Roughly
smaller.
30 by 40 roughly.
Okay, so the notion of enlarging it,
It's about that size.
okay, so the artist who did this still with us?
No, she passed away.
No,
Oh, she
the
is-
artist lives on Martha's Vineyard.
She is still.
She's very much in touch with the Pokanoket tribe. She's done several other paintings for them. Second one we purchased of the Soames Village up at
Yeah,
Margaret's
yeah.
Cave and things of that sort. She would be happy to have this here. And
And she would be okay with us adjusting the size of it?
Yeah,
And-
computer rendition.
the original will be remain at George Hale Library.
Right. But she
But
should
as
have a
far
problem
as-
with us
No, that's fine.
I don't,
messing
I
with
can't
the
imagine her.
the
having-
scale of it.
Right.
I mean, I
That's great. You
don't
just
know
said that.
for sure. I've
Yeah.
asked you this, but it seems to me that because you
I know,
purchased
I
the
got it.
painting, you own the rights to
We
do
do,
with it
right.
and reproduce it as the choose.
Is it worth?
Yes.
That's what I meant, but it's fine. Part that have reproduced. And Laura doesn't, that scale doesn't need it.
Okay, so again,
And
leaving the aesthetics and proportion to you.
And the frame would be another consideration.
You could not change the other one and make this one smaller. I'm giving you the latitude to make this look like something proper that we're trying to correct.
The goal will be to have the two paintings.
Equal size to fit behind here.
Size and weight.
If we're,
And perhaps in similar frames.
and if we're
and it's
discussing size, I'd prefer this one to be much small. Just, that would be my preference.
Listen, let me just say that here. I was here 20-something years ago when they presented. I remember Leon sitting here. And out of respect to him and his family, who did a lot, contributed a lot to this town. I'm okay with a little bit, but not considerably a lot more.
Okay.
So, just so you know.
Yep.
Again, my motion
No.
is to make the two portraits proportionately sized to fit the space behind us.
Yep.
Second.
Gotta have an extra copy.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Thank you
now,
very much.
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Thank you.
Next, we have new business.
Did you get, was there an extra copy?
I gave
Louis?
it to you.
No, you just gave him two sheets.
I thought those were them.
No, it's a whole pack.
Make sure you have some. I got mine on the computer, so. you
All
can
right,
have
there
it.
you go.
And there's more.
That's what I have right here.
You got it now. Yep.
Oh, but he's missing
Did we
these
pass?
two.
You're missing the two front pages. So there you go.
Are
We
these-
have to go back to them.
We going back to this, Joe?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so that's just the front page. So you already got that. So those are actually, I don't know which one.
Okay, yes, Mr. Rego, we're going to the,
now I'm missing two.
Back to OB1.
back to
Here's your front
OB1.
page.
That's the craziest thing. I just had this in front of me too. So, all right. So we're reviewing the fees and fines.
Yes,
And so basically we sent this to the department heads. They came up with some recommendations. I brought it to the budget committee and they approved those recommendations, and it's up to us to decide whether you want to move on them or not. So the first one in front of you would be the finance department, which there was no changes.
Okay.
okay,
Actually, I got two finance departments. The second one, and you know what? Mine's out of order. I
Beach
got,
parking is the second one on ours.
which one is it?
It starts with
parking.
beach parking.
Oh, this is really screwed up. All right, so beach parking. So, again, this went to Recreation Department. And if you look to the right, the recommendation or what they charge you now, on the left, you see fee charged. Right now they charge $5. They're recommending $10. And I'll read all of these if anybody has any questions, or we can
20 for the non-resident.
we
Yeah.
can vote on in one shot, okay?
okay.
Non-residents, they charge 10 now, they're recommending 20. Residential weekend fee, $10, they're recommending 15. Non-residential weekend, the $20 now, they're recommending 30. Summer camp, they're going for residents 300 to 350. Additional child 150 to 200. Non-residents 500 to 600. Does anybody have any questions on this?
Ms. Thibodeau, Mr. Rego's discussed all of these with you. Do these all have your approval?
Well, they were.
Come to the microphone,
I think
please.
we already approved the increase in the.
I want to make sure. I mean, they impact her families and her program, so
Well, everything was already approved in December.
Yeah.
And everything's actually online already with moving forward on all. those
Okay, so
ones.
basically, these went to her and she put in the recommendations and I'm just voting on, that we vote on.
You're just making it consistent.
Consistent, that's all.
but they're all already approved.
They're already in place.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Rego, continue.
So I make a motion that we go with these changes?
I'll second it.
All in favor? Oh, is there discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
So the next one is the Harbor Commission. And again, I apologize. I had mine stuck here. I don't know what happened. So the Harbor Commission, private residential moorings would be going from 175 to 200. Each additional foot would be going from $5 to $8. Private non-resident moorings would be going from 275, 25 feet and under to 325. $5 each additional foot would go from $5 to $8. Commercial moorings would go from 350 to 400. Mooring application fees would be going from $25 to $40. Waiting list fee 10 to 25. Town dock fees per foot would go from 75 to 90. Commercial docks 300 to 400. I think that one we already did by ordinance, right, Joe? And all state boat fines, they stay at 100. That I think that's by the state, so we can't change that. So,
Mr. Silva, have you had a chance to review all of these? Please come to the microphone.
I did an original proposal of the fees, and it got changed somewhere along the line.
Are these in accordance with your wishes? Do you have a chance to
I
look
don't-
at these?
So
I don't have a copy of it.
There's an extra.
There's one that's copied. I don't know who changed.
So,
Mr. Rego.
So I didn't change these. These were given to Brian, and then Brian gave them to me. These were department head
So
recommendations.
these are all the original proposals?
Yes.
This is,
Then didn't we already approve all of these when we didn't?
No, I think the only thing we approved was the commercial dock that Joe came in front of us from $300 to $400.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a
Yeah,
first
I had
reading.
proposed.
This is a
the-
first reading. We're not doing a second reading
I
anyway,
understand.
so.
I had
Just a
proposed a
chance.
little less on most of them. And
Okay.
Somebody just bumped it up a little. I had proposed 80 per foot. Somebody took it to 90 from 75. I'm not against any of it. I just thought, looking at where we are compared to other towns in the area.
And that wouldn't go into
We're-
effect till next year anyway, because we already got.
No, I
the fix, right?
understand.
Yeah.
We've already taken checks, but.
The intent is that we do gradual things, so we don't have to do big bumps and look at these things on an annual basis. Now, one of the things that we're gonna try to do, and I'm gonna try to do, is to try to monitor more on a monthly basis our revenue, how many units we have, and that'll help us make determinations whether these things are worth moving or not. We don't have that, so right now all we have is what's in front of us. But
Are you comfortable with those numbers in front of you, Joe?
I am. I think the waitlist renewal fee being at $25 is kind of high.
Okay.
You're just renewing a position on a wait list. And the mooring application fee.
Well, I think maybe the intent
was
there though is
25,
that
we're bumping all the way to.
maybe the intent there is to weed out the people who are just keeping it
We
there.
never
So,
had any fee
well,
or
now,
or even reapplication.
right. So now I think the intent is the people who are on there have a vested.
I was all for it. I had proposed $10.
Okay. So I think Mr. Rego is trying to get it up to a higher level.
So let me just say this. Brian, you got this from Joe, right?
Yes, I believe we worked on it together, that I could have put the wrong numbers in some.
Okay. So basically, these recommendations came from the department, and it's possible.
Yeah, I don't
It's-
have
And
any.
again, we're here for discussion. Is there,
I have no objection to any of those amounts.
Okay.
So
It's just different from what I had
the
originally
waiting
brought
list,
in.
knock the waiting list fee back to $10, because that is a $25 just to have your name on a list.
Right.
That you have to, so if a person got on the list 5 years ago, they paid $10 5 years ago to be on the waiting list, or is
I
the
don't
waiting
know.
list?
No, I don't think he's ever charged to get on the waiting list.
Okay, so the waiting list fee is a new fee.
The wait list now will be a new fee.
Okay, so seeing as we've never had this fee before, I don't think it makes sense to bump it up to $25.
I'm very
Yeah.
confused right now. How is
There
it?
was supposed to be a fee paid to get on the wait list. I
No,
don't know that anybody ever.
paid. Well, that's a different story, but there was a price list for a waiting fee, right? Because
Yes, it
this
was-
isn't, and no one ever paid it. That's another
they
story.
never did the annual
So you never charged it.
re-up of the wait list. Hold on, I'm in my, getting our feet on the ground.
So once again, I'm going to say this is a first reading, Mr. DeSisto, correct?
Yeah, that's correct, yes.
So there will be a second reading next month. Any changes that after you look at this and it settles in, you can come back to us if you need so. Do you think 25 is too high?
Up for just to be on a waiting list, yeah, I think.
I mean, well, let's
10
participate in this
Yeah,
process.
that's fine. And I guess the argument is that we have a hell of a waiting list, and I don't know if that makes a
Well,
difference.
I don't think it's
what
a
we
big
don't
one.
know is how real it is. Because we're
I
gonna
think that's
do
what
an
Mr.
annual
Reagan-
reapplication.
So I think what Mr. Rego is trying to figure out is how real it is based on people who are willing to put $25 down, which is then refundable towards the redeemable
That's
towards the.
That's not what it says here.
So
Yeah.
if somebody gets the mooring, isn't the $25 a step?
No, it's $10 every year to be on the list.
All right, it should be redeemable towards the mooring fee. Once, if you pay the $25 to wait and you call you up and they say you got a mooring.
I
I've been
see the
charging
$10
$25 for-
renewal fee is him keeping it up to date in the system.
Mr. President, may I ask a question?
Yes, you can.
It seems to me that
I'm sorry.
Go ahead,
We-
Mr. Trombley.
Go ahead.
it seems to me that there's two questions here. One, what should the fee be? And two, is it an annual fee or a one-time fee to be on the waiting list?
Good point.
If it's a one-time fee, I would be comfortable being $25. If it's an annual fee, then I think we should keep it at 10 and have it start being collected. What would you like to say, Mr.
I
Silver?
was just about to say my mistake was to get on the list. It's a $25 fee that I charge. This year, we've been charging $25 to get on the list for the first time. The annual fee of
Is
$10 has never been, we have never re-upped the list.
Okay.
We don't
so
do a
that-
reapplication
clarity.
annually. But the new system that we're gonna put in place will be doing that.
Okay, so
We just gotta decide on a fee.
So Joe, again, I got this information from you
Right.
or
No, that
Brian.
was my mistake.
So I guess the confusion is there is a fee that the first time you want to get on the list, you pay $25.
25.
And then annually, you'll pay $10 to be on that list, or you
That's
just,
what we had proposed,
Just stay on it.
because I think the list is not accurate.
yeah,
There's
so
a
that,
lot of people on
Is
the
it a
list.
long list, Joe, for the moorings or?
All told, a couple hundred, I think, between all the different mooring fields.
Yeah.
But I tried to get 2 dock slips last year, were open. I went through 15 people before I got a taker. Sold my boat, aged out of boating, moved out of town.
All right, good information. Mr. Ray, continue on.
okay, so you want to keep, the
So
yearly
now that
fee?
it's explained, I think it should be 25 to get on and then 10 annually.
All right, so we don't have a line here to get on and one for renewing. So let's change that $25. If you go down the waiting list renewal fee, let's change that to $10. And then let's put a waiting list fee at the bottom in here. And let's make it $25. How's that?
Okay.
That sound good? So we got private residential.
25. And the renewal.
10. Yes.
Right.
I'll make a motion to that effect.
All right, so the private residential moorings, we're going from one, did I read all of this already?
Yeah, I just have, it says, all state boating fines are good with $100 each, or do we
Well,
want
that's
to bump
not-
that
I think
up?
that's set by the state.
Oh, that's set by the state.
So I read them all. So do we have a motion to approve?
Mr. Tromley just did.
Okay.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay. Good work.
No, we're not done yet.
We're not?
No, we
he's
have the
got like
animal
6 pages.
control officer, we got the police
He's
department.
retired. He's
public
got nothing
works.
else to do all week.
So for animal control officer,
Sewer's the next page. You're in the wrong order.
there was nothing to be changed in the sewer, so we'll leave it alone.
And
So for animal control officer, impounding dogs going from $10 a day to $25.
No, this is athletic fields.
Are you on the animal control officer?
No, go ahead. Don't stop for me.
And then, second offense, $5 to $10. Unlicensed dog, first offense is 25, that's going up to 50. Unlicensed dog, second offense, it's going from 100 to, there was no change in that one. Vicious dog, right now they charge $10, that fee's going to $20.
$10 per day or just?
I just have vicious dog, I don't understand, I don't know if it's per day or not, but right now they charge a fine of $10. Roy, you understand how this works?
The vicious dog, no.
Yeah, okay.
I don't look at it.
So right now they charge a fee of $10. They're recommending, and I'm assuming this came from the animal control officer, correct?
Yes.
They're going from 10 to 20. Vicious dog harms another domestic animal from 10 to 15. Vicious dog bites a human, it's going from $20 each year to $30. Dog waste non-removal, that's staying the same.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Go ahead.
Discussion.
Sure.
What is dog waste not removal, non-removal? Does that mean when somebody,
If you catch somebody.
yeah,
pick up
so
the-
$25? If
gonna
that
be
what it's
30.
been,
Yeah.
should be 50.
I'll make a motion to
Collect.
increase it to 50 then.
Yeah.
Pick up your
I
dog's
mean,
poop, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Chief, how many dog removal fines have we covered in the past 10 years?
Probably none, I'll bet.
Probably zero.
All right, there's a motion to increase it to 50. There's a second.
PLR.
All in favor?
Aye.
No, you won't.
All right, so the
Mr.
next,
DeSisto, are there any state laws that supersede these?
No.
Go ahead, Mr.
And by the way, if I may, it's always been my position that when you come to matters of this nature, it's purely a local concern. You can set the fees like you want, just like, for instance, what Council Vice President Cronin just did. You want to up it, you can.
yeah.
The first bite's free, right?
No.
I thought the first bite was free.
No, not according to that.
The rule.
Now it's
The
20.
first bite costs you $20, Joe.
Oh, it says that.
Let me just say
This
this.
dog bites a human. $20.
It's
We're
not-
going up. We're going up to 30.
Oh, yes. It used to be
No, the
free.
first bite ain't free anymore.
All right.
Let me just say this because of what Carrie just brought up.
Yep.
Because I have signs in a couple of my houses where no pee, no poop, but it's going to be, my signs are going to be changed. It's $50 if they do. And I mean, it's a good reminder for people.
Be out there with a
We
tin
pick
cup.
up other poop all the time. It's horrible.
All right, the next.
Actually, Kerry does. I don't.
Yeah, flock camera, you can
Okay,
get 'em.
excuse me all.
Okay, so the next one is for the police department.
Wait a minute. We voted on the one. Is there a motion to approve all of these?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Police.
So the police department, there was three. The third thing that's on there, the police detail cruiser fees, that is by policy. We don't have anything to do with that. Roy, the chief has changed them from $30 to $40 an hour. Parking violations, we're going from 20 to 50.
For all of them?
No, just parking violations.
But all there's different kinds of parking violations.
Well, the chief will have to, respond to that. I don't know the difference.
Parking on the curb, parking too close to the corner.
So there are different. Okay, so let's just talk about these two and then we'll talk about the other one. So parking violations, the recommendation was to go from 20 to 50. Does anybody have a problem with that?
No.
No. I just had a question. Chief, how often do we give out parking violations? Is that, I've not seen.
A lot.
Yeah, the summertime, it is, if you get a good amount.
Hundreds.
So I think I asked that question when I was in your office, chief.
Okay.
Chief, I think I asked that question. I think he came up with like 865, if that was the number.
Wow.
And actually, we have to buy those tickets, so we keep track of that.
And it makes it so there's actually a reason not to just park in an illegal spot and $20 for parking. So 50 makes it really hit you.
Prohibitive, expensive, yeah. Okay, I support that. But the snow ban violations, I think 75 is a little high. I would only like to see 50 because people have extenuating circumstances.
I would like to see 150 on those, especially after the past winter.
Yeah.
They just stay there. They don't really care.
Yeah, you know that we really don't want to collect anything, but we want the message to get to people because right now, like even the $20, it's cheaper to pay the $20 parking ticket than it is to go look for parking. And the snow, it's really important that people move their cars during snow.
And if they have a hardship, they can call the station
They can call.
prior to getting the car towed.
So
I like the $75.
All right.
So the rest, you asked about the other fines, disabled parking violation. Right now, it's $100. That didn't change. 175 second.
Yeah, let's not go over the ones that didn't change.
Yeah.
So let's
Okay.
make a motion for the changes. Is there a
Make
motion?
a motion, we approve the changes.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next.
Okay, so on the last one, the transfer station, Mary and I spoke, we even had John Massad. We did have a suggestion, but Mary has changed it, and that was on the stickers. We wanted to do something for the community, but I think, Mary, at this point, we're gonna leave it alone, correct?
So the commercial permit will go from $40 to 50, or is that no? It's yes. Was there a motion to approve the commercial permit increase to $50?
Motion.
So we're not giving the 500 pounds?
No,
We can't
no,
afford it.
no.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Rego, for that work. Next, we have
Oh,
NB2.
Joe, just before we go on, so Tony, you're gonna be putting together the ordinance and you're gonna be putting it all in this format here, right? Did you want to discuss that, Howard?
So, there's two things. If you take a look in the code book, you've got these sprinkles all through the code book. One of the suggestions that Mr. Rego had was to, have a separate ordinance which lists all the fees and fines you can have in both places. Many cities and towns have that. So if somebody wants to know what a fine is or a fee or whatever, they can go right to the ordinance. I suggest that it goes in 2.2. It's an existing ordinance that already has some of the fees for the town, but you can make it for fees and fines too.
It'd be an index.
List it right there, pretty much an index. yeah.
Okay,
Can I
good.
make a motion, we direct the solicitor to draft an ordinance covering the town of Warren's fees as discussed.
This schedule will be incorporated into that, using that format.
Yes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next, new business due, discussion and action regarding the addition of a stop sign or signs on Water Street as a measure to calm traffic and speeding. Ms. Cronin.
Well, I'm pretty sure that most law enforcement and safety people would say that stop signs should not be used to calm traffic and speeding, but I think on Water Street, given the narrow nature of the street and the parking on one side and the number of accidents we're seeing. 2 weeks ago, there were 2 accidents right in front of my store. One almost killed this guy. Didn't work. He survived. The next one, a transport van was coming down, hit a pickup, ripped the axle, blew out the tires, skidded to a stop. I mean, it's just insane the way people are driving on Water Street. And if we could get another stop sign or 2 placed, maybe it would help, and maybe people would be a little more mindful of the way that they're driving. It doesn't help with the big, huge delivery trucks. I believe we have language ordinance about time of day for deliveries. Aren't they supposed to be in the early morning? They're not. They're all times of day and night. You see these trucks that take up the entire street. It's just, it's getting pretty crazy down there on Water Street. So, I don't know if this is a discussion to be had this evening, if this is a refer to the Traffic Commission to think about some creative ways of calming the traffic and creating a more safe environment. But it's really dangerous, and it's a problem, and it's getting worse. And then the other day, I mean, Toyota SUV versus Porsche. I mean, literally an oopsie left turn. A car drove up right over somebody's 911. It was.
Kerry, I agree with Kerry, but I think we should send it to the Traffic Commission. I'm not a big fan of more stop signs, but there must be an answer.
Well, I spend a lot of time, as you know, sitting in my front yard, and the acceleration point from Miller to the light is pretty dramatic. And people coming southbound who either think the stop sign is going to disappear or they have no intention of slowing down while they get there, there's this really dramatic decrease in speed. That's where the majority of these accidents are happening from Miller to, so one of the recommendations I was thinking, and the car's trying to pull out of 99 Water or whatever the address of the entrance to the apartments at the American Tourista, to me seems to be a logical spot when you break down that distance. They can't be done for traffic. I'm looking at it as being done for people turning in and out. I mean, not for speed control, but for people trying to turn in and out of that area. So I don't disagree with Mr. Rago. I'd love to have input from the Traffic Commission. I think that the rest of the street is just the narrowness, and it's not so much speed from Miller Street on. The speed really is that beginning approach or the exiting.
Yeah, I got Joe.
So, Mr. Rago.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. I would prefer a speed bump than a stop sign.
Yeah, me too.
And I'm going to tell you why. Because once you get used to driving these streets and you put up a stop sign, it's like, whoops, I forgot about it. You know, but a speed bump, you tend to slow down.
I have no problem with speed humps. I think that we should apply for a grant, and we should put speed humps all over the place. They make you slow down. So we'll send that to the Traffic Commission.
Make a motion, we refer this to the Traffic Commission for our next monthly meeting.
I'm looking at Brian. Brian's thinking speed cameras.
No, I don't like speed cameras.
So, yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. I was just curious if that suggestion about speed humps, would we want them just on Water Street or some of the side streets as well? Because we have.
Well, they cost a lot of money.
Well, if they're going to look into it though and make a suggestion, is it just for Water Street or could it be
I
for
would
like
think
the whole
just Water
downtown?
Street.
Right now, we're looking at the Water Street.
All right, fine. No worries.
And there's a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next, we have the town manager. He's looking for a discussion and action regarding a request from Mr. Saviano for the Rhode Island State Traffic Commission to conduct a study on the installation of a traffic light at the intersection of Market Street and Schoolhouse Road.
Thank you, Mr. President, members of the council. Mr. Saviano reached out to me. He was referred to me by Senator Felag to request that we submit a letter to the State Traffic Commission to have a study conducted on the ability or the necessary of putting a traffic light at the intersection of Schoolhouse Road.
Are there any questions on the?
I just have one
request?
quick question.
Go right ahead.
Have we had a study done on that road?
No,
No,
not,
we've never
not
had?
at, not at that intersection.
Yeah, that's a pretty tough intersection.
It can be, and we've had a death there.
I have no problem with that.
And,
Mr.
and there's
Trombley.
no cost to the town for this. Would be entirely paid for by the DOT.
Well, yeah, they study it.
Yeah, the state. Yeah, we don't
They
pay no
they may
state
do
taxes
nothing.
in
We're
town.
asking them to. So there's a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
So we're gonna send a request to all in favor.
Aye.
Thank you. Next, we have discussion and action of possible authorization of the town manager to sign the grant special conditions as required by the Rhode Island Emergency Management Agency in connection with the Hazard Mitigation Grant Program. And it's the award to the town of Warren with a total approved project cost of $30,000, including a federal share of $22,499. And they gave us 90 cents.
Thanks, Mr. President. So this would, every 5 years, I believe it is, we have to update our hazardous mitigation plan. We do this through Rhode Island EMA. There is a grant that's associated with a federal grant, which was just reinstated. It had been suspended for a little while. They would give us the 22,000 and we would have to make up the rest of it in kind. This has happened in the past. The EMA director, Chief Souza, has done this in the past, but we just need to sign the grant conditions in order to move this forward.
Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next, we have discussion and action regarding budget overages in the following departments. The Finance Department, they're requesting permission to overspend an outside service account 01520002940 for $28,000. And this is to be offset by the payroll processing and services account 01520002165 for $57.50. Where's
Mr. President, this is a request. This is the request to zero out these accounts. These accounts are in the negative at this time. We had last month moved money from the opera money for revenue. So these accounts, we would ask that we'd use that money to zero out these accounts.
Oh, yeah, I read it wrong.
Anthony, there is a bunch of them here. Could we just make one motion to approve these all as presented?
That's correct. Yes, you
I have a
can.
question before we do that.
Go ahead.
On the printed agenda here, it is, the first is a request to overspend by 28,000, but in my document here, the backup, that same
18.
account is asking for 18,000. So which is it?
Yeah, this
I'm
is
sorry.
Different. What, Brian, I think you're
We
on a
have-
different page than us.
We have two different amounts.
We've got a bunch of requests to overspend payroll processing, outside services, fire department, storm
I thought I-
emergency.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
did. It's,
That's a typo.
is it a typo?
I don't see anything about opera here.
So it's 18, not 28? Okay.
Okay, but still, he's requesting, oh, I see it right here. I'm requesting that we use the reallocated opera funds that has been added to revenue for fiscal year 29 budget as follows. So you're actually asking for that amount of opera money to go to those accounts.
Okay, all right, so we're gonna use the opera line
Yes.
to cover the overage.
So
All right.
I have a question for Mr. DeSisto. Do you think the language on the agenda is proper in regards to describing what we're doing?
Yes.
Okay,
So can we have discussion on that?
so discussion.
Because I don't think it is.
Why?
Because we're not overspending, we're bringing it to zero. So how is it that we're overspent? We're not overspending those accounts. They've already been overspent. We're actually bringing them back to zero.
Understand you're bringing them back to zero, but
We
you're
use,
confirming the overspending.
and we're using the opera money.
Correct, yes.
So, which brings me to the second question. Now that we're bringing it back to zero, now we have to overspend in order to
No, the overspending is what the amount is, and the opera money brings us to zero.
The opera money will bring us to zero, but then,
Then the budget
Does that
ends in
mean-
July.
yeah, but they still need, they got 2 more months they have to operate on, and if they got zero on those lines, how are they gonna operate?
Right now, they're in a negative.
We might need to come back for.
Or another overage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I do have, under the finance director, I do have some information from the department heads that line items that may go over budget.
Okay. Again, the wording confuses me, but if you're okay with it, I'm okay with it.
Okay, and Mr. DeSisto, you say we can just pass these all as one.
Correct, yes.
Mr. Hanley already made the
I made
motion.
that
Is
motion.
there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next, we have presentation and discussion regarding projected debt service for the Bristol Warren Regional School District for fiscal year 2028.
Yes, Mr. President, you have in your packet a projection by the school department on what the debt service is going to be for fiscal 28 and beyond. And the share that Warren will be required to contribute. Warren's share of the debt service is going to be, for a total, is going to be $1,384,338. Currently, we are paying $230,219. So we will have an increase of $1,154,119 for fiscal year 28.
How many years have we bonded out?
30.
30 years. And then there is a second page that I believe is in your packet that shows the projection of what the total debt services will be for each year starting in 28 and going to 2027, 2057. So, and each year it is total debt service is 3,600,000 or there, so more or less.
And that's assuming they don't go out for other stuff borrowing.
Correct.
You know, I went and I did a little homework, and in 2023, they came in front of you here at the council meeting, and I was looking at the numbers. At the time, they were borrowing a lot more, but the interest rate was lower. But these are more or less the numbers that they had said that they were going to be spending, you know?
And it passed by the voters.
referendum.
So, Mr. Sullivan, do you think it would be good if there is a request from the public, or should we have meetings, public meetings between now and I don't know. Do you think we should have a public
No, what
discussion?
I see this and it's concerning, but what helps me be able to grasp it is the $1 million we've been paying a year for the settlement is not going to be paid next year, which so it's still going to be.
No.
I can.
That money was borrowed.
So
You
if
borrowed
I-
that.
Right.
Mr. Rego.
But what I'm saying is,
Gentlemen.
it's in the budget,
Gentlemen.
so it's not going to increase the budget that
Gentlemen.
much.
May I please?
Yeah.
We're going to take the million out, and put the million.
So when we're talking about the borrowed money, the $1 million was part of a $3 million bridge bond, which is costing us $554,000 a year for the next 6 years. So we all unfortunately made a bit of a mistake in our understanding when it was described to us as going from one line item to another. It's actually going to happen is in 6 years, the $544,000 debt service to the bond will be gone. So that would be the first relief that the town sees. What we were in was a bind, and when we borrowed the money, we basically got charged over $2.5 million to borrow $3 million. That action and that ship has sailed. The cost of the town each year on that debt service, which is covered by tax revenue, was $555,000. The $1 million wasn't actually covered by tax revenue.
So let me just
But
explain.
it's a line item in
It
the
was
budget.
it was the line item supplied by the bridge bond,
Yeah.
not tax revenue.
So
The $550,000 a year to pay back is supported by revenue.
So at one point in time, you probably heard that you're going to be paying $1 million, and eventually when those $3 million are all done, that would go towards a school. But that was before you borrow the funds. Once you borrow your funds, you put yourself in another.
Well, we had to borrow the
Now-
funds. We didn't have.
Correct.
I mean, there is one debt service that's going to be retiring this year. That'll be $354,000. So there are some things we can do, but we can't do miracles. It is what it is.
So the tax increase is going to be rather large. The next council is going to have to deal with this. They're going to, along with the manager and all of our staff, are going to have to come up with a budget that represents those numbers. And we will probably be looking at going to the Auditor General for permission. And there'll be a big financial adjustment to the town of Warren. That being said, it's based on the voters' approval of a new school. Our hardship with the lawsuit, it's almost a different story because we are covering that by revenue. That being said, if the public feels the need for an additional public meeting on this issue, I have no problem attending a forum if you feel the need, the town feels the need. Other than that, I don't really know what else to do other than, as of July 1st, the budget we've created and formalized tonight represents a, what,
I think it was 7.
3.7% increase, which equates to $11.70 per thousand. 11.94 per thousand. So that budget has been approved. We're okay now. The discussion and action is for a later date and a different council. So next, we have recognition of the wastewater treatment facility for receiving the Gold Award from the Rhode Island Clean Water Association for 0 permit violations during the calendar year.
Yes, Mr. President, I just wanted to bring to your attention that again this year, the Warren Wastewater Treatment Facility received that award. And it's a testament to the staff that we have working down there. They work diligently to make sure that we don't have issues like they had in East Providence last week.
Yeah.
And we have the new upgrades and Mr. Kamiga's meeting with, so we'll be working on all of those, the grants and the updates that we need down there.
Yes.
That's all moving
I think
forward.
it's a direct reflection on the commissioner down there. You've learned a lot, haven't you?
Mr. Kamiga, good work.
Good job.
Mr. Sullivan, good work. Next, we have an update on excess liability insurance. So it seems like you could get a $5 million additional, which would be $25,000 a year. And more than that would be $160,000 or $159,000. Do we really feel that this is what we want for the town?
I think we should just leave what we have.
Okay.
I asked that this item be investigated for the budget process because we did end up in a situation where we did get we think it's a 1 in a million lawsuit that really put the town in a very weak financial position. I don't know. I think we have the $5 million coverage from the trust.
Derek, could I think? This is important. I say something though.
I know, but let Mr. Trombley
finish.
speak. He has the floor.
Forgive me for
No,
saying this.
he has the floor.
Would you give me a minute, Derek? Honest to God.
Let me finish, my friend.
I would rather you let me say what I have to say.
Gentlemen, as the president of the council, Mr. Trombley has the floor.
I think I know what Mr. Rigo's going to say. I'll let him say it in a minute. But what I'm saying is that for how long would this quote be good for? Is that included in this?
May I make a suggestion?
Yes.
I think it would be very helpful here if Mr. Trombley had met with the trust with, I don't mind going, but definitely with the manager. So they can go over some of the particulars of this whole proposal.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is something we definitely should study a little bit further. Yeah, that's,
But
I'll end it there.
What I'd like to do is recommend it, when we're speaking to the trust. And of course, you can't go as a whole team. But the trust is a member insurance pool.
Yeah.
And I recommend that you go and speak to them. They'd like to talk to you, and there's some details I think that would take too long for this meeting, but I do think you should hear.
Yeah, I'm in favor of shortening the meeting as much as possible. So I'll defer and discuss with the town manager.
Mr. Hagan.
Exactly what Tony said. I was gonna say the exact same words.
Okay, next, the solicitor requests a motion for executive session pursuant to Rhode Island General Law 4246-5, subsection A1 personnel. This is the police chief's contract.
I'll make a motion for executive session.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Trombley,
Aye.
Ms. Cronin,
Aye.
Mr. Hanley,
Aye.
Mr. Rego.
Aye.
Aye. Next, we have discussion and action on items discussed in executive session, and that will take place afterwards. Pardon me for even reading it. Finance Director, Revenues and Expenditures. Have them all here, everyone. Are there any questions you have of Mr. Marshall? Okay. Next, we have discussion on report from department heads regarding line items that may go over in the budget.
You don't have that, Mr. President. I have that.
Correct.
Thank you.
So are these any of the opera lines?
These are not. These are the projected, we reached out to the department heads. They have not gone over. They are not in the red yet, but they are projected to be in the red. And so we wanted to bring that to your attention. I will meet with the finance director and we will look at other sources of revenue that we might be able to move money from one line item to the next to cover these projected expenses.
These are the byproduct of
the shared services in the buildings. That's mostly energy related increases.
Energy related, Mary V. Quirk, we had a tank that exploded down there that needed to be repaired. That was part of the heating system. But town hall, government center, those are heating, those are energy related. Town hall, we have a leak in the heating system that needs to be repaired as well.
And the computer expenses, how did that go over? So,
if you recall back in November, I had mentioned that the computer contract had expired and the new one required an increase in monthly fees, which we were not aware of in July or June when we put the budget together last year. So that's the cause of that.
Joe.
Yes, Mr. Rego.
So these are figures
projected.
These are projected they're gonna need to finish the year.
Yes.
Correct? So my only question is, and this is the right thing to do, you're supposed to let us know. You're just gonna let us know next month what lines they're gonna come out of. I have a question. Does it always have to come out of a line, or can it come out right out of the general fund?
Ultimately, that's what happens if it
Right.
doesn't
if we
zero
don't
out.
have a line
Right.
to
Yeah.
do it,
Yeah, so if you overspend the budget.
You could do that then?
Well, I would say if we couldn't find someplace to get the money from, I would just say let it run over.
It's what we,
When the budget's done. it would
Right,
automatically-
yeah.
it's why we zero out so that at the end of the year, we know what is coming out of the general fund.
Because the problem when you start moving money around is from a budgeting perspective, it's hard to keep track, where if you just took it out of the general fund, it'd be easier, but
Yeah, well.
Yeah, but you want to identify.
You want to try to balance
So
that
that
budget
next
for the
year.
fiscal
Yeah,
year.
but so but it's so that next year, you know how much that department needed and how much those lines needed. These overages I'm looking at as we sharpened our pencil too tight, too finely last year. We put in unrealistic numbers in hopes that we would meet these, the winter storms, the tasks that we set for the, financial expense associated with those tasks.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't think they're too bad, these numbers. I think.
We'll know better
And
when,
there's probably places.
when we
tough
have.
At the end of the budget, because you don't want to start taking from another line that.
Then that's going to go over.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to work on this for next month, and
yeah.
that's what you're
But
telling
I
us.
think I think you're gonna come out with a close to balanced budget by the end of this.
So do I.
Do we need a motion to approve these overages or wait
No,
till they
these-
come in?
no, yeah, we're not, they're,
This is
Mr. Rego,
Projected, okay.
as we always do, but Mr. Rego's made a very good point of pushing it forward, that before anything goes over, he wants to see it. He's seeing it, we're seeing it. But we're also hearing that there are lines that are gonna offset these. We hope. And we're pretty solid in that feeling as well. Next, we have discussion and action, I'm sorry.
Cash balance
Yes,
report.
cash balance report. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, so our cash balance is, we're a little flush right now because we just went through a collection cycle. And I'd say we've got enough cash on hand to get us through through the beginning of July. So,
Good.
and then at the end of July, we'll start collecting for August. So yeah, we're in good shape.
All right, we're on a slow increase, thank God. Next, we have discussion and action regarding investment strategy that the town should consider for the funds held in the Rhode Island Interlocal OPEB Trust Fund.
No, so currently, Mr. President, we have about 1.3 million
Under 1.3.
in the trust fund at the interlocal trust. Guess that's a play on words, but they manage for us. When this fund was, when we first invested into this fund, our investment was in the conservative area. It's the finance director's recommendation that we change that to the growth area, so that we can gain a little bit more interest from our investments.
Is it risky?
Yeah, well, there is a little bit more risk. That's
Mr.
Reagan.
The intent of these investments are long-term, so from that perspective, we're better off. And then when there is risk, you know what, yeah, it drops quicker, but it also goes up quicker, so it's one of those things.
You feel comfortable with this?
Yeah, and then we went, the whole budget committee was.
You're better off enough.
And the budget committee felt comfortable with this? We have a member, yes. Okay, so is there a motion needed? Yes. So we need a motion to,
I'll make a motion that we move it over to the growth fund.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next, we have discussion and action regarding a resolution in support of House 2026 H7369 mandatory other post-employment benefits funding levels. This is from Councilman Trombley.
It's not quite from Councilman Trombley. This was on the agenda last meeting, and the resolution was to oppose 7369 because of some of the implications in the legislative language that I had read, and based on where our OPEB finances were at the time and still are. I still have concerns about this legislation. My understanding is that some of this bill is being amended, worked on at the State House. I have basically, to go back to the beginning on this, we pay for other post-employment benefits, OPEB, on a pay-as-you-go basis. So when someone retires, we pay out of our general expenses, out of our budget. We do, however, have a trust set aside, and in that trust is about $230,000. And part of OPEB
No,
That's the 1,000,003 we were just.
we've got 1,000,003.
Million three?
Yeah. The 230, it may be what we pay out on an annual basis.
Yeah, that sounds.
The 230 is probably what our annual contribution is as you pay and go.
And you're correct. I'm sorry, I misspoke because this was from last month. So you introduced a resolution in opposition to House bill. So thank you for the correction.
No, it's quite all right.
And we voted to reject it.
And we voted.
We voted
in support of that.
In support of opposing legislation.
Correct.
My understanding is that since then, the manager and the finance director have had a conversation with the auditor general, and the bill is being amended and worked on.
Correct.
But I just wanted to go back to the beginning because
Go right ahead.
this is something I've been passionate about since I got on the council. I've talked to the budget committee about it. I've talked to the finance director about it. Now that the budget cycle for us is concluding, this was to be basically, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, Gary, but this was going to be your top priority going into the fall, trying to develop a plan to fully fund our OPEB to the ADC level. And the difference between PAYGO and ADC is the PAYGO is just we pay as we go, we pay as needed. ADC is called the actuarially determined contribution level. It's what the accountants say we should be putting in order for the interest to pay off all of our expenses related to people's retirement, post-employment benefits. That's where a lot of wealthier towns do. Barrington does it, Jamestown does it. A lot of other wealthier communities do it. Some of the not so wealthy communities like us, Situate, don't do that. This bill, 7369, makes us go to that. And some of the language in it's a little bit troubling to me when I read it, and that's why I brought it to the council about the finance director having to produce a plan to the auditor general on a regular basis, on annual basis, if we're not funding to the ADC level. And then it seems to imply that that plan is subject to auditor general approval. So the auditor general can say, we don't approve that plan, we have to make changes. And then it takes away local control and puts state in control of our local finances, at least to some degree. So I had a little bit of an issue with that, so I brought it before it. But I'll defer to the manager and the finance
So the
director.
Auditor General's explanation of it was more so that he can at least have the discussions with the towns about where they're going, more than forcing us to get to the plan. They just want to make sure, like, we are looking at it and we're discussing it. I mean, his take on it was that there's no teeth in it.
Okay, and I understand that that might not have been the intent. It's just how I read the bill, and I know it's being worked on to amend it. But do correct me if I'm wrong. Currently, in order to reach that ADC level, that magic level, we would have to increase our contributions about $450,000.
I'm not sure on that. I'd have to look at that.
Okay, no
What is
worries.
that
Mr.
level?
Rega.
I'm sorry, Derek, what is that level, do you know?
I should. Can you give me 1 second?
Sure. Yeah, because that's very crucial. Let me say this. I read the legislation like 4 times, and I gotta be honest with you, I got an idea of what it was, but I shouldn't have to read something 4 times to figure it out. Very confusing, very complicated. I learned a lot. We should have to have a plan in place, and I think we're gonna put it's very easy. Right now we're probably paying $230,000, X amount of employees. Remember that when another employee comes on, another one drops. So we just got to keep track of it. We should have a plan. And everything that this legislation says, common sense we should be doing anyways. You don't need a law to do these things. Too many laws on the books. So I'm against it.
Sorry, so can I just inform the council?
Please.
So this is this is based on the query. This is what it was said. The amount, in Warren's case, the town's OPEB plan, they currently fund a PAYGO, even though they have a trust already created. That amount was, I assume the amount of OPEB for fiscal year 24 was $237,121. To fund at the ADC for 24, it would have cost them $687,695, which is about $450,000 difference, correct? Yeah, I mean, that's just rough math, but I mean, that's $450,000. So that's where we have to get to. And it could be $445,000 over a 10-year period. It could be sooner than that, it could be less than that. As long as we have a plan. If the Auditor General is just saying you have to have a plan, we'll put one out there. And I know that I've discussed this with the Budget Committee, Finance Director. I want there to be a plan. It's just I'm concerned about whether or not this gives the Auditor General basic veto power over our plan is why I asked to.
That's not the feeling, that's not the feeling we got from the Auditor General.
Yeah.
Um,
But I read the language, and the
Yeah.
language is ambiguous enough that it could be interpreted that way. That's why I was a little concerned about it.
Yes,
Mr. Rego.
No, I think we should try to follow. We should have a plan. I learned a lot going to these meetings. When you said pay as you go, you just left out a like $1.3 million little thing that you didn't mention, which is very important. And that $1.3 million coming into the situation with the schools, we may have to dip into that. I'm not saying we are. And then the other thing is having a plan, knowing where we're at, knowing how many retirees we're expecting, how many are going to drop off. So all those things should be in front of us. One of the problems with our budget process is all this is it's a one line item. So I wouldn't even known about this whole thing, So being transparent, very important, and getting to what we need to can be done. We don't need law for that.
Does anybody want to take an action on this?
I would like to take an action, Mr. President. So I understand basically where we're at with this. The Auditor General doesn't want us to oppose it because he's working on amendments. So could we, in a similar vein to what we did earlier in this evening when we were discussing sort of the 7676, the one about the open meetings, could we say we'll support this with an amendment that ensures that the Auditor General just doesn't have veto power over our plan? Would that be an acceptable? I'll make that in the form of a motion. I think that's a reasonable compromise.
So question, didn't we voted on this?
We did.
We voted to oppose this.
Correct. Because
And what concerns me is now it's getting amendments, so I don't know what the hell I'm voting on
Well,
if they're
we-
making amendments now.
we found out since we listened to Mr. Trombley's explanation, and he unfortunately wasn't here, they had a meeting because it brought up a lot of concern. And they were reached out, by the Auditor General, who brought to their attention some facts that we didn't have. One was that we don't have to, fill the amount upfront. One. Two, that it would be approval of a plan. And so we kind of I felt that we should, out of genuine concern to all of you, bring this back to you in a different form. Are we for it or are we against it? Because now we have conflicting information.
Well, I mean, the Auditor General is telling you that, no, I'm not going to be able to reject it. Excuse me, I'm from the government and I'm here to help you. Okay. That's a big problem. It's like, no, I'm never going to do that. Guess what you're going to do? I think we don't need more laws.
Yeah, I'm for just leaving it alone. We've already sent a resolution.
Mr. President?
Yes.
At the Leagues and Towns meeting, this was brought up. The league is against this legislation as is currently written.
And that's what
we're voting on, how it's
That's what we said
currently
last
written.
And we've already voted. So
So Mr. Trombley made a motion. Is there a second?
I'll second his motion.
And his motion is to support it with an amendment. And what's the amendment?
It's sorry, 1 second. Essentially, the amendment is to section C, which it's about the Auditor General's power to approve or reject the plan, just clarifying that it's for notification, not for veto power. I don't know if there's a better way to phrase that. I'd leave that to the solicitor, but that's essentially what I'm most concerned about.
All right, so I have to read this. Be it resolved by the Town Council of Warren, whereas House 7369 was introduced into the General Assembly on January 28th, 26 by Representative Felix and others, and whereas this act would amend the audit compliance requirements for municipalities' contributions to other post-employment benefits under the audit of accounts and installation of systems. And whereas specifically this act requires municipalities that contribute materially less than 100% of the actuarially determined contribution for other post-employment benefits. And this allows municipalities to develop a corrective action plan that would bring them into compliance with funding on an actuarial basis, standard set forth therein. And now therefore be it resolved by the Town of Warren by the town council of Warren that section 1, that the town council of the town of Warren officially expresses its support to House 7369 and respectfully requests that the Honorable General Assembly enact 7369, section 2, that this resolution shall become effective immediately upon its passage by the Warren Town Council. And the amended language would include that the Auditor General not have, what was it?
That the plan that's provided to the Auditor General be for notice, not for approval or disapproval.
Okay. Ms. Cronin made the second. Any further discussion?
The trust,
Stan.
the trust doesn't like it. That's kind of a good.
We're on the field.
Biggest
That's
idiot.
pretty much a good
Yeah,
red flag for me to not be in favor of it.
I personally don't think you need a law. I think this is common sense stuff. And, you know, all cities and towns were under so much pressure. We don't need one more law just to create litigation and stuff. So I'm against it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
I'm against it. Next, we have the tax assessor. Abatements to the 2009, 2022, and 2025 tax rolls in the amount of $8,596.55. Mr. DeSisto, can we accept all of these as one?
You can, yes.
I'll make a motion. We accept the abatements for the, so it was the 2009 to 2022 and 2025 tax
Correct.
rolls in the amount of $8,596.55.
55 cents. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
Maya.
you.
That was great.
Yes.
Next, we have the Recreation Director. This is discussion and action authorization for the town manager to sign the recreational grant agreement between the Rhode Island Department of Environmental Management Division of Planning and Development in the town of Warren for the purpose of Veterans Field improvements. Ms. Thibodeau, you have anything you want to add to that?
Nope.
So this grant's for $434,100,
With a 25% match.
and that can be in-kind contributions as well. So the
Correct.
DPW and you already have a little bit of money that's, well, good work on this task. You took it on. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a
I have one
motion.
question. I'll second it, but I have one
And
question.
discussion.
For Tony. Tony, have you had a chance to review this language here?
I have, yes.
All right, great.
It's standard.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next, we have discussion and action regarding awarding the 26 concession rights bid. And that goes to,
So we did not receive anything, so I asked for permission to go out and seek a bid. Like we've done in the past.
okay,
I'll make a motion, well, we don't have to reject all the bids because we didn't get any. I'll make a motion that the director seek out a vendor.
correct.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have discussion and action and authorization for the rec director to sign an agreement with the local Hero Deli and the catering regarding the summer food service program.
So we previously have always used Tuckett School District, but they came in too high this year, so we had to seek a alternative vendor, and so I'm bringing that contract to you because it's new.
Okay, and you know about this vendor? Is that first time?
This is the first time using this vendor.
Do you know other communities that use them?
I do not. It's kind of a crunch time. I worked with Ride, because normally you start this process in January. And the vendor came back and told me in the middle of May that they couldn't provide us meals this year, so.
You need Pawtucket.
Right, so I've been working
Previous
with
vendor.
Ride to come up with a solution. So-
Okay, so I guess we're gonna
This is,
wing it with.
we're gonna wing it. We're gonna-
Mr. What's it called?
Local
Hero.
The
hero.
local hero. Okay.
Well, hopefully he'll be our hero. I'll make a motion to approve.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next. Number 4, discussion and action and authorization for the recreation director to sign a charter bus agreement with First Student Inc. regarding the 26 summer camp transportation services.
So this is, again, in the past, we've always had like a one-page agreement and I've always signed it. But this was a much lengthier agreement, so I wanted Tony to look at it. And then Brian actually found some changes that needed to be made, so I figured it's a new document, a new contract, so bring it before you guys.
Makes sense.
Anthony, have you reviewed it? You're good with it?
Yeah, it's definitely slanted in favor of the company,
So you won't,
but I don't find anything that's so objectionable that it can't be signed.
okay. I'll make a motion, we approve the authorization for the rec director to sign the charter bus agreement.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and next we have the request for the use of the Warrentown Beach on Tuesdays at 8 a.m. from July 23rd to August 23rd, 2026 for the free yoga instructions by Ann Samiri.
This is a ask from last year, so she's just coming back.
Yep, I don't think.
And everybody, it's free, everybody's
It
welcome.
is free and she has to provide insurance.
And you've used her, we've utilized that service.
Last year she did, yes.
she
I'll
did
make a
last
motion, we approve the use of Warrentown Beach for yoga. Second. July 23rd to August 23rd.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have the Department of Public Works. Ms. Hunt, discussion and action regarding the bid for the purchase of a used backhoe loader.
Yes, good evening. This is the same backhoe loader that was discussed at previous meetings. It is coming from the Bristol County Water Authority. We do have the funds in our equipment and vehicles budget for this. Comparable, the price tag is $33,750. Comparable backhoes, we did put it out to bid. We received one bid for that backhoe. Comparable pieces of equipment are about $10,000 to $15,000 more. We're getting a pretty good price with this. We're working directly with the vendor. We are essentially purchasing it for the Water Authority's trade-in value. We are able to maintain it. I know that was a question. It's been confirmed with the vendor. We are able to maintain it.
John Deere has some proprietary programs that they've changed a lot of their new equipment that you can't, you're kind of bound to them, but this falls outside of that.
Yeah, and there are certain things that we would have to send it out anyway. We do the same with our tractor trucks.
Mr. Rego.
Just a quick question. So we're not buying it from Bristol Water Authority. We're buying it.
We're buying it from because it's part of their trade-in. They had to trade it in for
Right.
them to get a new one. They rotate their equipment about every 10 or 12 years. So it had to go back to the supplier for us to purchase it. So we couldn't purchase it.
Good
directly
job,
from
Mary.
them.
This is the type of work I like to see.
I do too.
So is there a
Thanks.
motion?
Can we
to-
have
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Good job, Ms. Hunt.
You bucket truck. Nobody.
Mr. Souza, Chief Souza, to you and me. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Okay. Discussion and possible action and authorization for the fire chief to sign with CSI Technology Group for fire prevention module in the amount of $11,000 to be paid from fire prevention account 84-500-000001.
Yeah, this is the vendor we signed on with police and fire about a year ago for our dispatch system and our records management system, and just want to add the fire inspections module to continue improving on the service for the fire department. And that account is out of the special fire prevention account, special use account.
Okay, is there a motion to approve?
I just want to, Chief, for the fire inspections in Pawtucket, our fire department jumped onto the open gov platform. I don't know if, because it integrates the building with the fire. I don't know if that's something you thought about or.
We've been using that. It doesn't have as many of the features we'd like, so this is a 1 year. We're gonna try it, and if it's not providing what we like, we'll see if we can improve on OpenGov.
Okay.
So is there a motion to approve $11,000?
I'll make a motion that we approve the chief to sign the contract for $11,000 for the fire prevention module.
There's a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Town planner, Ms. Castro. Discussion and possible action and authorization for the town manager to sign an agreement with Compete RI regarding shared understanding for municipal support partnership. I'd like to explain that.
So Compete RI is
an organization that was funded under Partnership for Rhode Island in 2022. And the Partnership for Rhode Island is a CEO roundtable of the state's largest employers. And they provided resources to create Compete RI with a focus on education, infrastructure, and economic development. This is basically like a grassroots version of municipal technical assistance. So there are going to be a limited number of Compete RI communities. By becoming a Compete RI communities, this allows me to receive support or other departments from consultants, from research, and for the goal of making us more competitive for federal dollars.
And there's no
It's non-binding, it's pro bono. They pay the consultants directly and the consultants
Yeah,
contract with
it's-
them. Yes.
Great.
I'll make a motion. We authorize the town manager to sign the agreement with Compete RI.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good.
The situation on the harbor master has been taken care of. Right. So is there a motion to go into executive? Oh, we already have the motion to go. So we're gonna be going into executive session.
I'm gonna that.
And the meeting's over. For now, we'll be coming out of executive session and the meeting will be public again. You can all go. It's regarding the police chief's contract, so
You really don't have to do that.
what's he doing? Oh, it's our employee. She works in the clerk's office. She works in our clerk's office. Some guy.
You have a revenue line.
Oh, okay, so they're both gonna disappear. All right. That was, right, so that's what was sold to us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All set.
You always loom over me.
Make a motion
Okay.
that we close executive session and seal the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'll make a motion that we approve the contract as presented by the solicitor and the town manager for the police chief for the next 3 years.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right, everybody.